And we are live. Hey, everybody, this is Roberto Blake, helping you create something awesome today. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to be talking about how to monetize your YouTube channel properly without YouTube AdSense and how you can make up to $10,000 a month. We're going to be breaking down some major income streams and telling you exactly how to start process of monetization. So today is another Monetization Monday. We're probably going to go for 2 hours. We're doing these on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you guys want to start tuning in, we do Monetization Mondays, where we teach you how to make money as a content creator, hopefully become a full-time content creator, making up to $10,000 a month so that you can be full-time and sustainable, especially when it comes to the bloody taxes. And since it's April, you all know what it's about. It's tax time. And so we want to do that with Monetization Mondays every Monday if we can, when I'm not traveling. We want to do Workshop Wednesdays, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard. We're going to come in, we're going to learn a tool, a software, or a special thing that we can use practically hands-on, and how to use that to improve our content creation or our capacity to make money. So that's things like merchandise, thumbnails, video editing, motion graphics, those kind of workshops. And then we have Friday is FAQ Friday, where you guys come in with your questions. And we also talk about YouTube strategy, idea generation, analytics, and more. So that's the streaming schedule for y'all: Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. Be here or be square. That's how it's going to go. So shout out to everybody in the stream right now. I see we've kicked off with 100 of you across all of our platforms. So not just on YouTube, we're on Facebook Live, LinkedIn Live, twitch.com, x.com, formerly Twitter, and kick.com right now. We'll be adding 2 or 3 more platforms here in the future, so stay tuned for that. Thank you to our sponsors: Streamyard, which is letting us multi-stream; OpusClip, which is letting us upload the replays and clips with AI tools, monetize those across all of our platforms, make money off of every platform we possibly can, diversify those income streams. Thank you to Streamyard and OpusClip for diversifying those income streams. And of course, our good friends at Kajabi, who are sponsoring, who sponsored our last workshop on Wednesday for building digital products from scratch and how to sell them properly, price them properly for your audience. You can catch the replay. We leave all of our live streams up. We do not private the live streams. So make sure you're checking that out. Thank you to our sponsors. Links are in the description down below. So now that the housekeeping is over and we have that set aside, let's kind of dig a little bit into a breakdown of what we're going to be covering today on Monetization Monday. We definitely can answer questions, but we're doing Monetization Monday. Our last Monetization Monday was about brand deals and sponsorships. This is a big part of how you make $10,000 a month without ad revenue, but it's not the only part. And we talked about this, and I just want to show you guys something here. We're going to go to the pricing packages. We covered this in detail in our last Monetization Monday from last week. If you guys want to check that out, it is on the channel under the live streams tab. You can see it. We did a massive workshop around brand deals and sponsorship. Now, as you know, I make more than $10,000 a month from my brand deal and sponsorships because I have multiple sponsors and I do extensive packages, as you can see. Now, those involve what's called UGC content. So it's not just about my reach on my YouTube channel at all. You guys see my stats, you know the deal. A big part of it is licensing, name, image, and likeness. So NIL, and then UGC, user-generated content. So I make content on the platforms of the brands on their behalf. So as a contractor, that's a big part of my packaging. Plus, there's things like my email list. So that already is why I make over 10 grand outside of YouTube AdSense. YouTube AdSense is actually one of my lower income streams. We'll talk about that. However, I want to also remind you all about affiliate marketing. Affiliate marketing does really well for me. And we have a case study in terms of one of my affiliate partnerships. So the revenue here is the affiliate revenue attributable to my partnership with Tubebuddy. And if I can, I'll bring that up so you can see it in the back end of the dashboard. But So, because I know not everyone wants to take my word for what's in the slide. So we'll log in to the back end of Tubebuddy, and you can see it on the affiliate partnership for yourself. And I do about roughly $3,000 a month, give or take. Some months are a little higher, some months are a little lower, but it's recurring monthly revenue with Tubebuddy. And I've had a relationship with them since 2006 is when I signed up for them. Now, this shows the benefits of affiliate marketing, which is overlooked by you guys. So sponsorship, affiliate marketing, those are powerful income streams. A lot of people will look at the sponsorship side, but they don't realize that the affiliate side can be as lucrative as the sponsorships if you do it right. And so for those of you in the education space, you have an advantage in the fact that you can do software as a service affiliate marketing, and you can make a lot of money doing that cumulatively long term. So there is that opportunity if you are in the education space. For those of you who are entertainers, you're like, okay, Roberto, but what if I do entertainment content? What's available to me? Can I do this? And the answer is typically, well, no, this revenue stream isn't as available to you, but that doesn't mean you can't do affiliate stuff like the Amazon influencer program. So, and I'd have to refresh there because sometimes it glitches in the current month. Actually, the current month is the first. So the current month is going to be 0. So that's probably accurate. But for this one, what we have is you can see here that the lifetime amount I've made in as affiliate does reflect. And like I said, I earn like 3,000 or more a month. This used to be a lot higher. This used to be, a lot higher before the pandemic times. Pandemic times cut a lot of things, cut budgets, cut affiliate commissions, all kinds of things happened during the pandemic times. But again, making 3,000 plus a month in passive income without additional work is not bad at all. So you can see it reflects accurately what I said in my slide at the time in terms of the case study of how much I've done for my partners. So with affiliate partnerships, you can actually earn recurring monthly commissions for affiliate links. And with doing that and sponsorships, you can kind of double dip as an opportunity. A lot of people don't think about that, so they ignore the affiliate side, all their brand deals, and they'll realize that affiliate partnerships and affiliate case studies can help you get partnerships, help you make money, and that's another income source. So the thing is, for your income sources, a lot of you could be doing more if your income sources were that you did membership websites. We did another workshop around membership websites before. We even did a video on my YouTube channel where I gave you my $5,000 a month membership blueprint for having your own membership website. Now, for those of you who are entertainers, if a membership website doesn't work out for you, you have to build a membership program around your YouTube channel or podcast with either YouTube or Patreon, so on and so forth. You give up a percentage. That's the downside. You guys end up giving up a percentage. If you own your own membership website, it's not a percentage. You pay a flat rate, which means your money going in can go up, but your money going out stays the same. What happens with percentages is your money goes up, so is their money. So the revenue sharing, your money goes up, their money goes up. I don't like giving up 30%. I love you, YouTube. I don't like giving up 30%. So that's the problem. So paying for a membership website like Kajabi is the way I do it as an educator. If you're an educator, that gives you other revenue streams because you get digital download products, for example. You get the membership website. You can do one-on-one calls with people. So you could do coaching. You could do a cohort community membership thing. You could do online workshops that are private workshops for your email list and get paid. So there's a lot of opportunities in the education space. However, there are better, well, let me rephrase that. There are more lucrative opportunities in more general and broad education spaces than creator education. Creator education is still new. It's not as proven and it's not as broadly aware. And there's a larger market for doing other things. Video editing is still going to be a bigger market than creator education, and it always will be. There'll be more video editors than there will ever be people that benefit from like creator education. Okay. Graphic design, still a bigger market. Ask Chris Do, still a bigger market. So if you look at Chris Do in the future, graphic design, creative services, branding, that's a bigger market for education than creator economy right now by a long shot. Probably will be for another 10, 15 years. Graphic design, video production, music, all of that, bigger markets. So there are bigger markets, but those are also more established markets. So you could argue, oh, well, there's also more competition, but there's more than enough work to go around with that stuff. Language learning and English as a second language is probably the largest single education market opportunity in the world right now that is highly monetizable and is still relatively accessible, and that is not saturated enough to matter, in the sense that there's still more than enough opportunity, more than enough money in it. I would say that English as a second language, highly lucrative market, especially right now, massive. So that's going to be really important going forward. I would say right now that AI education will outstrip creator education in terms of a market vertical, because more regular people are aware of it, and it seems like an easier opportunity and a more urgent opportunity than being a content creator. So that's just giving you an example, right? So in terms of opportunities to earn more, and like I would say that for sure, affiliate marketing is a big one. Selling products, for those of you who are entertainers and you can't do education-based products, then one of the answers for making money without AdSense for you guys would, of course, be physical products in the form of merchandise. Now, in general, you'll see that more people are moving away from merchandise to things like consumable products, like a coffee brand or something like that. So more like a coffee brand, or candy bars like Ryan Trahan and Mr. Beast. So we'll see a lot more of that, I think, to come. But merchandise can still be good for a lot of you. And so if I go to, let's see here, robertoblake.store, merchandise. So I've got merchandise. Some of you probably are seeing this in the YouTube shopping area below the content here, if you're on YouTube specifically. And so merchandise can be very lucrative. The thing with merchandise is, if you do something like I did, I use fourth wall. If you do something like I did, the margins on merchandise are probably only between $5 and $8. So it's $5 to $8, but you don't pay money up front. It comes out of your end when you sell something. That's how print-on-demand products work. So a lot of you, print on demand is a zero upfront cost for you, and you guys will like that. It's the same reason you use Patreon. Patreon can be good too, but the reason that Patreon is good for a lot of y'all is because zero cost upfront, and any cost and fees come out, like, for the most part. I mean, you have to pay something, but like unless you use the most basic version of Patreon, but it comes out the back end, and it would be very affordable for y'all compared to something like what I'm doing with Kajabi, unless you're an educator selling a membership, right? So Fourth Wall also has a membership component similar to Patreon on top of doing merch, which could be a way for you guys to get around cost if you were looking at something that, like, you don't have to pay upfront money right away for, where you just give up a percentage. And I believe with Fourth Wall, it's something like 10%. With Patreon, I think there's like 8 and 12%. So, that's kind of how it is. But physical products could be an opportunity for a lot of you. Now, with me, I'll tell you what sells better for me, but instead of clothing, just for me, because I'm an educator, a book sells better, and a book has the same margin. The difference is you can get your physical clothing done in a couple of weeks. Writing a book takes a couple of months. That's the difference. But I would say that books are a better forever product. They're a forever product. They're evergreen, or they can be, depending on how you approach it. And I'd say the opportunity to make money from books extends beyond the book sales itself in terms of speaking engagements, which I do, public speaking, credibility, that sort of thing. So there's a lot of different revenue streams and income streams that you can explore here. There is public speaking and workshops if you're an educator. If you're an entertainer, your version of this is hosting duties at events, red carpets, and performance fees, doing concerts if you're a singer, that sort of thing. So that would be what opportunity could look like for all of you. Hang on a second. Just trying to fix the focus on my other lens there. So that would be what some of that looks like. is there is the opportunity to do the public appearances and do hosting at events and be an MC, do that sort of thing. And you do get paid for that, and they do cover your travel. Very similar to a public speaker who is an entertainer. Okay, so like the intersectionality, and I will eventually do a diagram that splits the entertain. I'm going to do some graphs and diagrams for you guys at some point that splits the entertainer opportunities of monetization from the educator side of monetization. But in this case, you just have to suffer through listening to the sound of my voice when it comes to the info and with stuff like the media kit stuff, for example. So for a lot of you, you're missing money because you're not diversifying, because $10,000 a month sounds far-fetched. $10,000 sounds far-fetched. It sounds like a pipe dream. It sounds like a fake guru promise until you realize something. We're talking about 4 or 5 revenue streams that all make $2,000 to $3,000 a month. So we're talking about anywhere from 3, 4, 5 revenue streams, and all you have to do is make somewhere between $2,500 to $3,000 off of each of them, $3,500 off each of them. That doesn't sound as bad when you say it, when it's like, okay, wait a minute, 3 or 4 revenue streams making $2,000 to $3,500 or some combination of them. So, okay, wait a minute, I can do that. And so, wait a minute, so what does that look like? So there's a lot of opportunity to do that. Number one, some of you could make money using your skills to work for other content creators, even if it takes a little bit away from your content creation. If you're good enough, you could find stuff that's not that hard to do that takes up some of your time, and it wouldn't take up the majority of your time. You might have to put in 20, 30 hours a month, 20, 30 hours a month, and you could be making 2 or 3 grand working for other content creators on the side. So that'd give you like a third of your money right then and there. And it's not contingent on your own content. Then the other thing is, if you work for enough brands doing UGC deals, if you do user-generated content, you could arrange to do user-generated content for brands, make stuff that's better on their social media than the social media that they're doing. You don't even have to be big to do this. You could be a small creator. You do a small creator, and instead of these packages that I have here, what you could do is you could do a 12-month package. Okay, and you could work with 3 or 4 brands, and you could put together a $1,500 or $2,000 a month package for like with 3 or 4 brands. And you could do stuff that you're going to post on their social medias and tell them, hey, brand, you own the rights to this. If I make it for you, you own it, post it on your social medias, and you own it forever. I'll just make the content for you, and I'll do this amount of shorts, short form a month. I'll do this many 5-minute videos for you a month. And hey, give me $2,000 a month, and I will work for you this year, and you'll get this many videos to post to your own social media, and my stuff looks good, and blah, blah, blah. And that's cheaper than them hiring out to do it and it not coming out as good in a lot of cases. And it just depends on how many deliverables. And for a lot of you, again, I work with creators around this all the time. People come to me, we work one-on-one, and we figure out their brand deals, or people in my Awesome Creator Academy Pro group. We work together, we put someone in the hot seat, we go around and we all give them ideas on how to negotiate and pitch their brand deals, how to organize their package, how much to charge, how many videos to make, what the terms are, what the payment terms are. We talk about this stuff. So we do that in my Academy Pro group. It's linked in the description. I do this in one-on-one calls with people. And what happens is we end up putting together packages where they can get monthly retainers from brands as UGC creators, which is basically almost like getting an employment contract and being able to work for brands, except you're not having to clock in 40 hours a week, and you could probably end up making the same amount of money working less hours. So, because it's based on deliverables instead of time. That's why I figured out when I became a freelancer. When I was a freelancer, I was making and editing content for other companies. And so that's how I was making money before YouTube became lucrative at all. And I didn't get AdSense money for years because I was ripped off by a multi-channel network. I was ripped off by an MCN. That's my villain origin story. The one time I ever got scammed was when I was a small YouTuber with 14,000 subscribers, and MCN made all these promises like they did to YouTubers when we didn't know better back in like 2014, 2015 days. We didn't know any better. And they took half my AdSense. So like I've always made it to where I don't rely on AdSense because I've never been able to rely on AdSense, because my earliest experience of AdSense was someone taking 50% after YouTube took their 45%. So like, think about it. YouTube takes 45% of all the advertising money you make. That's fine. They're facilitating it. Then in my case, you had some schmuck coming in and taking 50% on top of that and making all these promises of getting you collabs and brand deals and all this stuff and taking 50%. Then on top of that, with whatever money you had left, you're taxed on it. So, I mean, like, what was I getting? Like nothing. So AdSense was worthless for years for me, years. So you find other revenue streams. And for me, affiliate marketing was a big one with the Amazon influencer program back when they just called it Amazon Associates. So affiliate marketing can be very lucrative. I used my affiliate marketing commissions as a case study to then get my first ever paid brand deals with products. And this is when I was reviewing tech. This is before any of you knew about me, before I ever did YouTube help content. This is back when I was doing tech and tutorials, mostly around freelance video editors and freelance graphic designers like me back in the day. So back in my day, back in the day, that's how it was. So I made my money off the affiliate marketing, and then I started going into some of those one-off paid brand deals. And those were the one-time deals. Those weren't the monthly recurring deals that I do now. So now I only like to do monthly recurring deals now. I used to do one-time deals back in the day. You can still do that. It can still be lucrative. But I'm telling a lot of you, if you want to get to $10,000 a month, you need to figure out how to start with doing $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 packages. Get 2 or 3 brands to agree to this, and then you're halfway or more to making $10,000 a month. If you get 3 brands to agree to $1,500 or $1,800 a month, which is not that bad for doing UGC content if you're doing enough of it. You get them to agree to that for 6 months, 12 months, and then you re-up the contract right then and there. If you get, what's the math? If you get 3 contracts that are $1,800, 3 contracts, it's 12-month contracts, you're making $5,400 a month recurring monthly revenue from brand deal contracts to be a UGC creator or be a hybrid between doing stuff on your website, your social media, and being a UGC creator for them. So that's half of your money. And you don't have to be a huge creator to get $1,500, $1,800 a month contracts as a UGC. Doing user-generated content, UGC, which I teach about, like that is important if you're smaller and you're not huge, because it's your first shot at some stable income that starts to replace a 9-to-5 job, but delivering less by having to work for a brand. It's less than the hours you put in a 9-to-5 job to make the same amount of money. You get that with 2 or 3 brands, that's replacing your income right there. And that's halfway to $10,000 a month. And that's just with the UGC. If you start making even $1,500 a month from affiliate marketing, whether it's the Amazon influencer program like I was doing, or some software, or some other affiliate program, or even the affiliate program that YouTube has with tagged products, if you make $1,500 there on top of making your 55 with the brands, then now that's putting you at $7,000. You only have $3,000 to make up to get to $10,000 at that point. And you can make that up in other ways. There are other affiliate programs you could do. You could do one-time sponsorships and make up that money. You might be able to sell some things, whether it's merchandise or digital products or something. You might be able to sell some things, or maybe the other $3,000 does come from your AdSense, maybe, or part of it does, maybe. But getting to $10,000 a month is not far-fetched. It takes work, it takes time, but the big issue is just diversifying the income streams. That's all. So if you did work for another YouTuber, and let's say you did work for another YouTuber, you got a YouTuber as a client, they're paying you $1,500 a month. That's another chunk of it there. So you got that. You got your 3 brands, and between them, you're making $5,500. So, okay, there you are. You're at $7,000. You did affiliate marketing. You need another $1,500. Okay, wow. You're at $8,500. At $8,500, you're right at making $100K a year. You're just below making $100K a year. So if you make up the other $1,500 with AdSense or something else, you're at $10,000 a month. Boom. That's the math. That's it. Now, when those taxes kick in, you're not going to be too happy about it, but still. So we got a super chat here from Tim Simpson. Thank you. Tim's a friend of the channel, longtime supporter. Tim says, Roberto, I've just started doing something similar for a couple of brands, but they just want to have vids on my channel they can embed as tutorials and promote. Here's what I would tell them, Tim. Tell them that they benefit more if they actually can post the videos natively, and that you'll give them that permission for another fee. You can tell them it's fine to do the embeds, but it's not optimal, and that there's a better way to do it. And if they're not willing to listen, then find another brand who is. On top of that, you don't have to end that relationship, but just start kind of consulting the brands on how best to utilize you. Tell them how best to make use of you, and that can go a long way. The lady writes, says, hey, Roberto, I want to do UGC for authors. What would you suggest as a place to start? I would start with making trailers for their books. I would say that having a package or a productized service where you make a book trailer for them that they can use to promote as a video in social media for their feeds with, you know, providing voicemail, that could be really helpful. My real name is made up. I haven't seen anything come through for you. We actually did fix any issue on the website with anybody who said, hey, I'm having an issue or anything like that. We fixed that a while ago, and I haven't seen any email from you. If you have a question with that, hit the support email today. If you hit the support email today, I'm happy to check it myself personally and respond to it in near real time if you hit it today, but there shouldn't be any issue. I had Ariana look into any and all requests, and I've been looking at the support emails, and anyone who had an issue, I already resolved it, and everything should be working. So I don't know what to tell you on that. The only other thing I can think of is if you had some issue with replacing or changing your payment information. But if you have an issue, just let me know through the support email as per usual, and we'll get to it. It's not a problem. I'll have Ariana or myself or Andy look at it, and we'll get back to you. But none of the other 90 members are having a problem, so I don't know what to tell you. LeRon says, PTSD when you mention NCNs. Yeah, the multi-channel networks were a big problem back in the day. I'm glad that most of them have gone away. Inspired by Ebony Love says, UGC creators get paid far less for videos than influencers do for brand deals, shorts videos. It depends on the influencer. It depends on the creator. That's not necessarily true, and that's not always true. Not every UGC creator gets paid less. It depends on your positioning. Some people don't have everything they would need to have the right positioning to get the right deal. There are some UGC creators that get paid more than influencers. There are some influencers who get paid more than UGC creators. There are some people who are freelance videographers on the project who make more than both. It depends. It completely depends. There are models who do none of the content creation and get paid more than either or both. It depends on your positioning. It depends on how you've set yourself up. Yeah, sure, no problem. Look, I know that, like, I'm the guy who has probably had more credit card issues in the last year than anyone would ever care to admit, in terms of all these leaks, all these data breaches. And so, yeah, I had to get new credit cards for everything, and I had to change and update everything, and it affected my payment information and my payment details with stuff. So I completely sympathize, dude. Like, it's a rough thing. And sometimes getting everything changed out is just a massive stressful undertaking. So yeah, if you get us an email, you let us know what's going on, I'll make sure I personally look into it for you. But I've been there and I feel you. Like, I had that happen for like one of the main accounts, and it meant that it's like I had to look at everything, because like the Adobe software subscription, the subscription to Firecut was on there. It was just it was a nightmare. I hate that stuff, man. It's the most annoying thing in the world when your bank account or credit card stuff gets compromised with all these breaches and these leaks. It's the absolute worst. In fact, actually, even with that, it's happening to YouTubers on the back end of certain things too. Most of the YouTubers I know, the thing that they're most paranoid about right now is their accounts being hacked. I know a creator, speaking of AdSense, I know a creator that had 350,000 subscribers. She had her AdSense hacked, and instead of, and not just her AdSense, she had her channel hacked. And instead of deleting her channel or anything like that, they just kept siphoning from the AdSense for months. It took a month to get the issue fixed, and they siphoned $30,000 in AdSense revenue from her. It's a good thing she had brand deals, because she like $30,000 in AdSense, and I don't think they ever recouped it either. I think it was stolen by hackers in Egypt, I believe. And so yeah, it was a big deal. Imagine that. Imagine like that your channel over like 2 months earned you $30,000 and you never see a dime of it because of some BS hacker group in Egypt. Laurent Sergev says, think a lot of creators miss out on packaging for the upsell. I do X on YouTube, but if you want social vids too, usage rights for a month, then it's Y. Absolutely. You have to negotiate the terms. So it's licensing, it's usage rights, it's there's other terms and conditions levers that you can pull on this as well. Name, image, and likeness is one that I utilize. So there's a lot that goes into it. Public appearances at events. I negotiate into these packages. I negotiate public appearances at events as long as travel is covered as well. In fact, I'll be at NAB show in Las Vegas. The 13th through the 17th, I'll be at NAB show in Las Vegas. That's part of me working with one of my sponsors. I'm going to meet up with a previous sponsor while I'm there at the event and talk about some things, but travel's covered, cost is covered. But it's part of my integration, it's part of the package, and it's part of the relationship. So the thing is, you can negotiate the specifics of these relationships. And the thing is, you can do a hybrid model of doing some regular, dedicated influencer sponsored content on your channels. And then you can combine that. Hi, Carmen. You can combine doing the distribution on that side with also doing UGC content. And then there's other additional bonuses or value adds that you could add to your packages. We talked all about this in the Brand Deals Workshop side, but what I will say is besides doing that, and why is this camera acting funky right now? Come on. That's wild. We'll just switch the camera angle too while we work that out. It's the benefit of having multiple cameras. So one of the things, and this is actually, this camera thing is just bugging the heck out of me real quick. Give me a second, y'all. Let's see if that worked. Okay, I think that worked. There we go. So anyway, the main thing I'll say about the brand deal stuff, we covered that in the brand deals workshop, but it's one of your main revenue streams that you can do. What a lot of you should be doing is also diversifying your platforms, because you could do more brand deals if you have diversified platforms. You can also charge more if you have diversified platforms. You can grow your affiliate revenue if you have diversified platforms. You can grow your email list and then also your memberships if you have diversified platforms. A lot of you are overlooking extending your options and your reach, and then also using that to double dip, triple dip on assets you already have. I'll give you a prime example. Resyndicating evergreen content on X.com is paying money right now. I saw Tiffany Fong. Tiffany Fong was literally only making like maybe $50 on X.com payouts. And then this past week, she got $5,000. And it's not like her videos blew up and did viral or did more views lately. It's just that they changed the program and they're starting to do more ad sharing on videos with creators on X.com. So now it's comparable to YouTube income for her. Now, it's not going to happen for every single creator, but the opportunity is coming. And I think that the more people sleep on it, they're going to be late to the party and they're going to miss out. So that's just one example. So that's happening for people. There are people who are making money on Snapchat, believe it or not. There are people who make money on Snapchat. So there's all these opportunities. And then with sponsors, there are sponsors that sometimes will want to be on one platform versus the other. I have a friend. She's big on YouTube. She's big on Instagram, and she's big on TikTok. She has, I think, 3 million on TikTok, 180K on YouTube, 140K on Instagram. So she's, over 100K in 3 different platforms, right? And she was negotiating with a brand for a deal. They were gonna kind of lowball, not give her quite what she asked and everything like that. I was able to help her get closer to what she wanted. It wasn't able to be a recurring deal, but they were going to come in at I want to say they wanted to come in at 2,500. She got them to increase the amount of product that they were giving and got them to go to 3,000 when I told her, okay, say this, counter offer with this, and offer a long-term relationship with this, and this. And the thing is, they want to do this first deal first, and then after that, they can consider. And they're like, okay, we're still new and feeling out our relationships with people, but they weren't turned off by her 6-month package. So the thing is, she got a 1-month deal that could go to a 6-month deal, but also at the higher rate. And it's just about how you negotiate and what you're able to come up with and how you're able to pitch them and what you're able to say in the negotiation. But the thing about it is she now also has the confidence to bring that kind of deal to other brand relationships. And then that could lead to recurring revenue. Because remember, if she gets 3 brands to agree to that, she's at $9,000 a month. If they even haggle her down to 2,500 on one of those deals, she'd still be at $7,500 or $8,000 a month recurring revenue for 6 to 12 months in that relationship. And that's a good, steady income right there. If it's 6 months, you're still up and you're still at 50K, and then you still got other revenue streams. If it ends up being 12 months, you're at 100K and you still got other revenue streams. So you see, this is the goal here, is we get multiple income streams. We diversify there, but then we diversify further by getting more income sources per income stream. So primary example, I told you guys about affiliate. You saw the affiliate revenue I have with Tubebuddy. We threw that up on there. Okay. I want you to remember that this is just one. I have another affiliate where I do about $1,600 a month. So when you combine that, that gets you to 5,000. But wait, there's more. I have multiple other affiliates that I do hundreds of dollars with. So then all of a sudden you go from 5,000 to 6,000. 6,000 is, over the course of a year, $72,000 in potential revenue. And that's all affiliate. And that's all passive income. When you combine that with doing roughly 1,500, 2,000 in passive income on digital products per year, that gets you to $100,000 a year of passive income. Because digital products is passive income. It's probably about level 2 of passive income. Affiliate marketing is also around roughly level 2. I'll go over levels later at a different time when we do an affiliate marketing or a passive income workshop. I'll talk about levels, because there's 2 interpretations of levels. Levels could be level of passivity and difficulty. Levels could also be levels in terms of barrier to entry. So it's just a whole, or complexity. So it's a whole different thing. I have a chart for it. Somewhere. But the point is, when you start getting to where, oh, wow, $5,000 a month in passive income, and then I can combine that with my active income, it becomes easier to get to 10,000. So the goal of $10,000 a month, with the goal of $10,000 a month, it's about your diversification. So the thing is, you have to choose your business model. So it's, okay, how am I going to make my money outside of AdSense? And I would say, okay, brand deals, affiliate marketing, membership website of some kind, membership website of some kind, whether it's your own or Patreon or YouTube or whatever it is. Okay, cool. You could combine that with fan funding. Fine. Okay. And then I say you sell some kind of product, and that could be digital or physical. So that could be digital products, or it could be merchandise, is what I would say. And then, okay, well, let's diversify those diversified revenue streams even further. So, okay, I'm going to do brand deals. How many brands am I going to work with? Okay, because if I diversify and I do brand deals, okay, if I do multiple brand deals can get me half or all of my money if I position it right. It can get me half or all my money if I position it right. Multiple affiliate deals. Okay, let's say you did affiliate marketing and you figured out how to do affiliate marketing, and instead of getting one affiliate to pay you $3,000 like I did, what if you had 3 or 4 affiliates, but between Amazon and like 3 other affiliates, what if each of them was making you $1,500? If you get 3 affiliate programs to get even half as far as this and get $1,500 on 3 different affiliate programs, that's $4,500. So that's math. You combine that, and let's say you only got 2 brand deal sponsorships, and those brand deals were $1,500. Well, that's $3,000, and then the $4,500. Well, that's $7,500 right there. Then let's say you did memberships, and you only were able to get to $1,000 a month in your memberships. Okay, well, that's not so bad because you're at $8,500 overall. So now, if you want, to get to 10 grand, well, you still haven't even counted AdSense yet. And you still have other opportunities. You could be selling merchandise. You could be selling a book. You could be doing any number of other things. You could work for another YouTuber. And then there's your other $1,500. So again, just having 4 of the right combinations of revenue streams and then going as deep into those revenue streams and adding income sources per revenue stream creates a multiplier effect in your capacity to make money. And you do it by a means of monthly recurring revenue, active revenue that you hustle for, and then passive income that keeps coming in and can be scaled. That's how you would do it. That's how you would do it. Inspired by Ebony Love says, Roberto, Snapchat monetization seems so random to me. It's like a lottery. You have to hope to get picked, or rather than a standard you must meet to qualify. Am I correct in feeling that way? To a degree, because what happens is, and why it feels random, is because it's based on the views. It's based on who is the most popular in a category per month. So it's basically a leaderboard system. That's why it feels more random. It's about where you rank in the leaderboard, and then they distribute amongst the people who got the most views per the most videos. So the people who have the capacity to put out the most content have the most opportunities to go viral, and that's why it feels like a lottery, but it's not. It's not a lottery. The game is rigged when you know how to play it, though. And when you know how to play it, it's rigged in your favor. So that would be the key to that. The other key to that is some people can get a Snapchat show if they work with an agency. Coach Clutch says this is very powerful for us in gaming and esports. In gaming and esports, sponsorships, recurring sponsorships are really important for you guys in gaming and esports. I would tell a lot more of you that you could be promoting your gamer codes more. If you're in things like Supercell and you're playing things like Clash Royale, Clash of Clans, Brawl Stars, whatever, you could be promoting your creator codes a lot more. That's another way to monetize. I coach a lot of mobile gamers. I coach about 40 mobile gamers a year. Because of a relationship I have, another partnership I have. I work with another company that's involved with Supercell. So I coach 40 creators a year directly. They pay me handsomely for that. And it also helps me with more credibility among entertainers in the gaming space. So I'm actually really heavily involved on that side in gaming and esports. A lot of people don't realize that. And so I've worked with a lot of very successful, and I know how to grow gaming channels. In fact, those of you who've seen my Instagram, if you're following me over on Instagram at Roberto Blake, or even my Twitter, you saw that my client A-Drive, Dan from A-Drive, he sent me a copy of his gold play button because we helped grow the channel to a million subscribers. Other clients are sending their play buttons, but mostly it's silver. I mostly have more silver play button clients than gold. That one's going to be an obvious thing. You're going to have more silver clients than gold. But a lot of them, I have a lot of them in the gaming space. It's not just education content. I actually have grown a channel in all of the 15 categories: nonprofit, gaming, animals. Yep. In every category of the 15 major YouTube categories that they have, I've grown a channel to 100,000 subscribers for my clients. In fact, the reason my channel isn't in growth mode is because, it's aggressive, being busy, doing stuff for the clients. So the schedule I figured out to be consistent again was doing these live streams Monday, Wednesday, Friday for 2 to 3 hours. I figured it was the best way to make content. I can use OpusClip to chop up the streams. Streamyard has an AI tool built in to chop up the streams too. I'm going to be using all of this stuff. And the way I figured it was, if I chop up the streams, the next goal is to also convert the audio to audio for podcasting, and then just to blitz all platforms from doing live streams, doing 2 to 3 hours of work on the live streams, 2 to 3 hours a week, and be consistent. And then besides that, once my brother learns the editing the way that I like it, he'll help with the editing on regular videos. And then I'll get back to putting out a bunch of regular videos. We might even load up a bunch of regular videos this month in April, for all I know. We might just do a bunch of them. But yeah, I'm growing my clients' YouTube channels right now instead of focusing on my own channel. That's been kind of the mode that I've been in. I still want to give you guys tremendous value, though. So that's where the live streams coming in. The live streams have just been a way to give you the most education and value possible, all packed in one place in a way that's easier for me than spending 5 to 10 hours on one video. I feel like giving you guys jam-packed information on a mega live stream can go further than if I just make single individual videos right now. It doesn't get the same views, but you know, I feel like it's a tremendous value and a service to the creators to just be able to do live streams and answer questions instead of just focusing on the smaller videos and then hoping for the best. So live stream consultant says, question, Roberto, consider affiliate marketing. Would you recommend sticking with large brands such as Amazon, or you recommend going directly to a specific company, or both? Great question. I would do both. Kind of maybe let the customer decide where they want to buy from. And I would consider using Genius Link, which I use for that, for referrals, to be able to let them have the choice, but also I get the tracking data. So that could be really good, is to have the tracking data. The other thing is Amazon might be more credible with a lot of people, even though they should be able to also say, oh, that's a link for the manufacturer. That's perfectly credible. The manufacturer would typically pay a higher percentage than Amazon, but Amazon will usually convert better than the manufacturer. That's the problem. So that's why my answer is to do both, and then just selectively promote in as many places as you can, and then alternate and then see what's happening, because you'll get more sales with Amazon usually, but you'll get a higher percentage commission from the manufacturer directly. And I know this directly from working with hardware manufacturers, like when you sell lights, microphones, that sort of thing, camera gear. It's better to go directly to the manufacturer, but sometimes big third parties like Amazon, Adorama, and stuff like that, B&H, sometimes that they convert at a higher rate, but often direct to manufacturer pays a better rate for the commissions. Genesis One, the podcast, says, how do affiliate links work when you have only 58 subscribers? Because you're worried about subscribers instead of worried about distribution. Distribution works more than subscribers. Subscribers don't mean jack all. Too many of you, because you don't have subscribers, is why you value it. Because you don't have subscribers is why you value it. There are companies out there and people out there making money that have no YouTube subscribers. So how are they doing it? There are things called niche websites. Niche websites that win on search engine optimization for SEO, that all they do is they pay their $10 or $12 a month for Squarespace or WordPress hosting. All they do is they pay their $10 or $12 a month for web hosting with Squarespace or WordPress. They write blogs, articles, comparison, and pricing charts for affiliate products in Amazon, and then they make money every month. And I know people who have no YouTube presence who are making $5,000 and $10,000 a month because they made a website that breaks down camera gear or breaks down laptop or microphone reviews in a way that other people don't, and does very well on search, and they rank in the top 10. And because they do that, they make $5,000, $10,000 a month on Amazon. A lot of you are too hung up on YouTube. YouTube has got you seduced. You've been seduced by the YouTube algorithm, and it's all you're obsessed about. There are plenty of people that do not have a YouTube channel that have websites and email lists, and they make more money than most YouTubers. Most YouTubers don't even make minimum wage. Most YouTubers cannot clear minimum wage. 3 million people in the partner program, 100 million channels, 67 million active channels. So like less than 6% of people even make YouTube partner. The majority of them don't even make a living wage. Some of y'all are too obsessed with YouTube. Why do you think I'm on every single platform? I'm on every single platform because every single platform has a unique opportunity to make money. Some of them have a bigger opportunity to make money than YouTube. Is YouTube, in my opinion, the best overall platforms for creators? Yes, but too many of you are digital sharecroppers living off of YouTube instead of building a brand that can be successful on its own merit and that can have products and services to sell on its own merit, or build yourself a reputation across as many platforms as you can so people care about you and not the platform, and have a loyalty to you and not the platform. I'm here, Trout here. You realize why I'm not worried about whether my channel is getting mega views, and why I haven't had to worry about my channel getting mega views in the longest time? It's because I built my brand and I grew my email list and I built my customer database. Remember, I only make 40 grand a year off the YouTube partner program. I only make 40 grand a year off the YouTube partner program. You think I want to live off 40 grand a year from the YouTube partner program? I give that to the IRS. It's not even enough to cover my taxes. So what do? I built and monetized my brand instead of my channel. Do you understand? That's why we're here with Streamyard right now. And we're on Facebook, LinkedIn Live, YouTube, Twitch.com, X.com, formerly Twitter, and Kick.com. I think there's only 100, 150 of you tops watching on YouTube. We have 663 of you watching across all these other platforms total in aggregate. And then we have sponsors to the stream. The stream has sponsors because we don't need all 600 people to click on links. I'd love for all 600 of you to support the sponsors and do free trials of their things. So use the free trials. I'd love for all 600 of you to do that, but it's not inherently necessary. If even a handful of people do it, it's valuable enough to the brand. And the thing is cheap compared to paid advertising by far. Plus this YouTube video, unlike paid advertising, will be up indefinitely. So the brands can still benefit from the video's views indefinitely for years and years and years. And they know that. That's why it's worth it to pay my rates. So the thing is, when you have 58 subs, you shouldn't even be really focused on affiliate marketing. You should be focused on, am I good enough to be worthy enough to attract an audience in the first place? All of you, if you have less than 100 subscribers, all of you watching, if you have less than 100 subscribers, you're focused on the wrong thing right now. You're watching the wrong stream right now. What you should be focused on is figuring out, how do I put my audience first? How do I serve my audience first? Not that, how do I make money? If you have 58 subscribers, if you have 100 subscribers, if you have 500 subscribers, your problem isn't monetization. If you're worried about money, keep working your job. Get a job if you don't have one. Get a job. That's your answer. If you have 500 subscribers, how do I make money? Get a job. Because what you haven't figured out is how to provide value that makes an audience trust you in the first place, that makes you worthy of having something that can even be monetized. That's why the YouTube threshold for monetization is 500 subscribers, because it's the bare minimum for what you would call a minimum viable community. 500 subscribers is why that starts at YouTube monetization, because it's a minimum viable community. And that's the level of trust that you probably would need anyway to have enough people, because if you got like 10% of them, that's 50 people. That's enough people that if they support you with doing something like a $5 or $10 donation, to where it starts being worthwhile. Because if 50 people do a $10 donation, and you're monetized because you just hit 500 and you got not the ad revenue, because the ad revenue when you're small is worthless. You will not make money. I'm telling you. And it sounds privileged to say that. No, it's the first person probably telling you the truth. The first person telling you the truth. When you are a small creator, AdSense is just some minor motivation because you're getting something, but it's worth jack all because you are not making minimum wage on AdSense. You're not. For the hours some of y'all that are putting into your videos, heart and soul, grinding it out, working your little hearts out, you're not even making minimum wage on the hours you put into the editing, let alone the hours you put into responding to comments, let alone the hours you spent researching the video or learning about YouTube. You're not making minimum wage. AdSense isn't cutting it. And I'm not saying that AdSense shouldn't exist. I'm not trying to crap all over AdSense if you're taking some pride in that. I'm just reminding you of your actual value and that you need to figure this out. But the main thing is you need to grow an audience so that you know that what you're making actually has any real value, because having an audience will help determine that. And then a percentage of them supporting you with their wallets and not just their eyeballs will matter. But if you don't have the eyeballs, you don't have the wallets. So if you're at 58 subs, you're already worried about the wrong thing by watching this stream. I'm happy to have you here. I just don't feel that gives you any value, because I can't tell you to monetize at 58 because it's not something you should be prioritizing. You should be putting the audience first. And even if you have 10,000 subscribers, you should probably still be focused on just putting the audience first. We should be putting the audience first. Lois, you said your approval for the Awesome Creator Academy Pro group is still pending. Well, I know you're a long-time fan of the channel, and I absolutely can just get you approved right now. I'll just do it myself manually instead of waiting on the team. So since I'm familiar, all right, I've got your request. You're approved. You're in the Awesome Creator Academy Pro group. So congratulations. All right, so we've got our good friend Creighton TV with a $10 super chat here. A lot of you don't realize something. See, here's the great thing about what Creighton TV has just done. That $10 super chat, that's for me. I have to get about roughly 1,000 views on a video, somewhere between 1,000, 12,000 views on a video, to get the same value in money that I just got from his super chat. One person who supports you with their wallet instead of your eyeballs is worth 1,000 people supporting you with just their eyeballs. And I mean that quite literally, because that's the dollar amount we're talking about here. That's a real thing. That's a real thing. So remember, when you can have and create enough value and trust with your audience to come through for you and to be ride or die for you, they buy your hats and merchandise and hoodies, they buy your book, they buy that. One person who will support you directly with their wallet and buy from you can be worth 1,000 people's eyeballs, 10,000 people's eyeballs. Y'all just have to make sure you're coming through and delivering people who want to support you like that. And that will be your answer. That will be your answer. As for affiliate links, you don't necessarily need a certain amount of subscribers for your affiliate links. Sometimes it's about traffic. For some of y'all, if you want to do affiliate programs, some of y'all would benefit, and you would be benefiting more from just having a website than trying to use social media numbers. But you can get into affiliate programs with other social media platforms besides YouTube if those are easier to grow, like TikTok, even though I'm not a fan of TikTok, Instagram, or X.com, or so on and so forth. So that would be a thing. But anyway, Crayon TV says, hey, Roberto, when you use OpusClip to create clips from your long form or live streams, do you use those clips to relate back to each other for YouTube Shorts, uploads, or the other platforms? Thanks for your help. So for me personally, I try to link those clips back to, usually, if I'm being honest, getting on my free email newsletter. But that's because of my business model. I want people on my newsletter more than I need them anywhere else, because I don't need to give YouTube more traffic. YouTube has enough traffic. YouTube makes enough money without me. YouTube makes enough money without me. So what does Roberto do? Roberto selfishly wants people to go back to his platform, his home. He doesn't want to keep people out in these YouTube streets. He wants to take them home with them. So Roberto wants people on his email list. Now, for some of you, the answer is push them to your email list. The answer for the rest of you, maybe push them to your merchandise. Maybe for a lot of you, push them to your merchandise because that's a product sale. For some of you, you still desperately want or need to grow your platform, so push them to another piece of content that makes them closer to you and closer to you, that converts well, that makes them, become a fan of yours. So that would be a lot of you. That's your answer. Your answer is to push them to more and more content. Mine is to push them to a relationship opportunity, which is either my email list or a purchase. But that's where I am in my journey. My journey is no longer about growing the biggest platform. My journey is, if I get 1 million subs, I get 1 million subs. My journey is not predicated on what will get me the most subscribers or the most views. At this point, it's what will give me the most freedom is my optimization goal. Speaking of which, if you want support and if you want great free resources, check out our 12-week creator playbook. We've already crossed the threshold of the first 12 weeks of the year. We are done with the first quarter of the year. We're on to quarter 2. So if you want to do a sprint, get focused, and get resources to help you as a creator, check out my 12-week free creator playbook. It is linked in the description down below. That's going to get you our 12-week creator playbook, and it's going to get you an email sequence that gives you resources, a focus, and assignments, action plans for the next 12 weeks to help you sprint and grow as a content creator. So I want to take care of you with that. Florida Training Academy, thank you for the $20 super chat. Says, I appreciate you, Roberto. I appreciate you too. That's what happens when people come through. Yeah, focus on your target audience. We've got a great comment here from Elite Landscapes Life Stories. Roberto, truth bomb. I made $1,400 in my first year from YouTube, but my business can make $1,400 a day. Just the reality for most creators. I encourage more of you creators to think of yourself as a business and think of these platforms as vendors, as part of your pipeline. Because too many of you as creators are treating the platform as your employer. You're treating it as a job. And I'm not saying job to be dismissive of the fact that it's real work and a career. I do believe it's real work, but I believe it's a career to be a content creator. And I think you should stop looking at your platform like an employer, because that puts you in a submissive position. You are robbed of authority and agency if you look at the platform as an employer that pays your salary, pays your paycheck, and fires you. That feeling of, oh, it's your job and this is your employer, that just makes you relatable to your audience in some degree. And that's why some creators keep that mentality. One, it's their only frame of reference. A lot of creators that I know, the only job they ever worked before they became big on like YouTube or social media or TikTok, they did food service, they did retail. Most of them never worked an office job, and none of them ever became freelancers and independent contractors like me. So I was always entrepreneurial. And even when I was an employee, I was still entrepreneurial. I was still hustling. So the difference is, and this isn't a criticism, it's an observation, by the way. This isn't a criticism, it's an observation. My observation is that when being an employee is your only frame of reference, you have less of a high agency and high authority framework in your mind as a mental model when you become a content creator, and then you treat everything like employment. That's why creators get screwed and don't know how to negotiate their brand deals, because they weren't even good at negotiating a salary before. They've never done it. It was like, oh, here's what the job pays per hour. Here's my wages. Okay, fine. Oh, I got bumped up, or I got a salary bump, or I did the promotion board. Okay, cool. You're paying me more. Oh, we got more because of this thing or this law or this union or this thing. Okay, cool. They never were They were never able to advocate for themselves, and they never had authority or agency. When you're a freelancer, when you're an independent, when you're a contractor, or when you're a freelancer, you're negotiating your rates, you're setting your own prices, you're setting your own boundaries, you're setting your own hours, you're setting when you will accept calls and emails, when you will be available. You decide who, when, how much. That's a level of agency and authority that you have when you're an independent. People bring themselves over to content creator land, and rather than do everything from that position of authority, they try to do everything to make content creation fit the framework of traditional employment, and it is a mistake. The framework of traditional employment is antithetical to the maximum optimization, monetization, success, and freedom that a creator could have, because they're treating it as if they are an employee and as if the platform is their boss. Yes, sir, Mr. YouTube, sir. No. It's called the partner program for a reason. And you have a 55-45 share in ad revenue, and then a 70-30 in the partner revenue of fan funding for a reason. You're supposed to be the person with the leverage, and you're supposed to act like it. And you're supposed to act like it. And you're supposed to assert that authority as a partner. And that revenue sharing there works for YouTube because there's many of the creators, so it flows up to YouTube. So YouTube can be very profitable compared to a creator. And that can feel very much like an employee-employer dynamic until you realize that you also have the option to have multiple relationships as well. And so you're not owed any fealty to YouTube or to Twitch or to TikTok. You don't owe them any fealty. You don't owe them loyalty. You just have to be a responsible partner, not do something that would reflect poorly on the platform. Obviously, you don't want to do that in any partnerships. But what you can do, just like them, those platforms are allowed to have one-to-many relationships that benefit them. So why don't you have one-to-many relationships that benefit you? Why are you not platform agnostic and monetizing every single platform that you can? Why aren't you having multiple relationships with brands as best as you can? Why aren't you having multiple revenue streams outside of depending on the one the platform directly provides? Why are you giving the platform all the leverage? Why are you giving them all the authority? And why aren't you growing your email list? And why aren't you growing loyalty to you to where your fans follow you wherever you go versus their loyalty being to the platform? That's the problem with the dynamic between creators and their platforms. Creators have a parasocial relationship with the platforms and an infatuation with platform identity and wanting to call themselves YouTuber, TikToker, Instagram model, so on, Twitch streamer, so on and so forth, instead of calling themselves creator. You're a creator. You're a media mercenary, and you'll go wherever the audience exists to serve. Wherever the audience is, you follow. Stop giving your loyalty, exclusivity, and fealty to a platform and to a monetization stream, and stop wearing Adsense or Twitch paid subs as the badge of honor, and realize that however the dollars flow to your bank account is however they flow to your bank account. Making all your revenue on AdSense doesn't make you more legit because you don't ask your audience for money or to buy anything. It doesn't make you more legit. It just makes you more vulnerable. And it means that the platform is holding you all the cards and that you're a digital sharecropper, not an entrepreneur. That's all that means. When you say, ha, 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 oh, it's enough that my audience supports me with ads and I don't sell anything and everything like that. Oh, I'm not a sellout and everything. Congratulations. You're a simp for the platform. You're a digital sharecropper. You own nothing, but boy, do you look happy, huh? You own nothing and you're happy? Let's see how long that lasts. So, no, I believe that creators will have power, authority, agency, and control and freedom when they realize that all roads should flow back to them and that there should just be these platforms that are facilitating the relationship between them and the audience. The covenant is between you and the audience. Everyone else is just a middleman. The covenant is between the creator and the audience, and everyone else is just a middleman getting in the way. That's it. And the thing is, the goal would ultimately be to remove as much of that friction as possible. Juan Camilo Rosa Jimenez, I hope I'm pronouncing all that right. Thank you for the donation. Says, hi, Roberto. Thanks for all the value. Are you familiar with Dodford's channel? I love Dodford's channel. Do you know how he manages to use all that copyright B-roll and keep AdSense? Well, sometimes he gets copyright claims, but he fights it in fair use, which is also why it takes so long for his videos to release. His videos are uploaded well in advance, and he's using the YouTube check system for copyrights. And the thing is, he is the gold standard of fair use. Dodford's channel is fair use through and through. So any copyright claims would be false claims that are outside of fair use when it comes to Dodford's channel. So he's in the clear, but he uploads early enough in the check system to give it more than enough time, usually more than a week in advance, for all of his stuff to clear the copyright checks, and so that there aren't any claims. And then he just fights the claims because what he does is considered truly transformative. The amount of effort is distinguishable from the original content plus the context that he delivers on. Yeah, no, I think I'm kind, but I'm not a cheerleader. I'm not a cheerleader, and it's not an attitude thing. And I know, look, if I rub people the wrong way, it just means one thing: I'm not for you, and that's okay. Some people, you need a softer touch. There's plenty of people. Watch my friend Nick Nimmin. He's a great guy. He will give it to you straight. He will tell you honest, but he's not harsh like me. He's not harsh like me. He has a completely different background. He's not going to be as much of the in your face, whatever. Me, I do not have the capacity to coddle people that I don't know personally. I never have. I will tell you the truth to the best of my ability as I understand it to be. And I will tell you that I will speak authoritatively and with conviction of things I know to be true, things I have data to support, or things that I know because I've done them or lived through them. And I don't feel like it's an attitude, and I don't feel like it's unkind. But if the tone is not suitable for you, if the tone bothers you, I'm perfectly fine with that. And there are other places and other people that will serve you better. But here's the thing. If I'm too harsh for you, good luck with a cold, soulless algorithm that doesn't care about you. Because I actually do care, and I actually would like to see you be successful. The algorithm is much more indifferent and much colder and crueler than I will ever be. So if you can't handle my harshness, good luck with the machines, my friend. If you can't handle my tough love, you can't handle a cold, soulless algorithm deciding your fate and your paycheck. And so you might want to consider that takes a little bit more seasoning and toughening up and a little bit more thick skin to make it in this particular industry. Because if you think I'm harsh, never, ever, ever work in advertising in your life. Never work in marketing. And if you think I'm harsh, you haven't walked into the room with the content creators behind the scenes and dealt with the meanest of the mean girls. If you think I'm bad, if you think I'm harsh, if you think I'm unkind, oh, whoa. No, I'm the nice guy. I'm the nice guy. You haven't walked into those closed doors with the real mean girls. You haven't done it. You haven't walked into the Shark Tank that is advertising and marketing and sales. You haven't done it. And the thing is, if you think I'm harsh and you think I'm unkind and you think I'm unempathetic, deal with a soulless algorithm that has no consideration and has no nuance and that is very hard to make an appeal to, and deal with that day in and day out for 10 years, my friend. Just saying. Just saying. Rob, hey, what's up? We got Rob here from the Academy Pro Group. Hey, Roberto, just wanted to hop in and say thanks again for the advice in the office hours last Thursday. Have a great stream. Thank you, Rob. I'll see you tomorrow at 6 p.m. for office hours, buddy. Yeah, AdSense is too volatile. The worst thing that you have to worry about, Malevolent Elephant, is you have to worry, I hope not, but I would be concerned. The thing that I fear the most for you is something like the invalid traffic issue. The invalid traffic issue is probably the thing that if you rely on AdSense is the most vulnerable and the thing I think you should be the most afraid of in YouTube right now. It's not entirely YouTube's fault, but that thing, there's bad actors that are hurting the entire platform, and they want nothing more than to watch YouTube and creators burn. They hate creators. They hate YouTube as a platform. So the people behind the invalid traffic issues on YouTube, they're absolute scum. And the YouTube can only make so much information public because it just empowers them. It just empowers the bad actors who are behind these things, the scumbags that are behind these things. And it's a damn shame because I know it frustrates creators that there's not more transparency, but you don't want to tell the thief what version of a safe you bought. You just don't. You don't want to say, hey, criminal underworld, here's the model of safe that I bought. Go ahead and have fun practicing how to crack it. You just don't want to do that. So It's stuck. So YouTube is stuck between a rock and a hard place with that. So it just kind of sucks. Game Studio Lore says, hey, Roberto, I think you mentioned around 10K subs to start selling merch. Is this accurate? I'm beginning to look into creating a clothing brand future. No, it's that I said around 10K is where it starts actually making decent money, potentially, because we're using, excuse me, the 1% rule. So based on the 1% rule, if you have 10K subscribers and 1% of them buy, then what that is in that scenario where you have like 10K subs, right? 10% of 10K subs is obviously 1,000 people. So 1% is 100 people. If 100 people are buying your merch and the margin on that is $5 to $8, then you make $500 to $800 for every 100 people at a time that buy your merch. 10K is the most reasonable place where you start to have the potential to make $1,000 from merchandise. So it's not that that's around when you should start selling merch. It's that that's around when it ends up being the most initially lucrative in terms of, okay, getting your first $1,000. But you can start selling merchandise at any time. You can sell merchandise at any time. Its biggest potential to have any meaningful money behind it usually would manifest around 10K subs based on the 1% rule. That's what I was talking about. Terry W says, you're right, Roberto. Your brand is what you need to build. That is being felt on the blogging side with Google updates now. Diversify. I cannot stress enough diversifying your revenue streams, especially if you want to make 10,000 a month. Your best bet is to diversify your revenue streams, like I said, across maybe like 4 revenue streams. I know that once we get past 3 beyond AdSense, it starts getting overwhelming for a lot of y'all. But remember what I said. It's like you get 3 or 4 revenue streams, brand deals, and you get multiple brand deals, affiliates, and you get multiple affiliate programs. And then with memberships, you want to get your first 100 to 1,000 true fans to keep supporting you with memberships and fan funding donations. So you want to go that route. And then you need something you can sell directly. You need something you can sell directly in sales. So that is your best bet in terms of a $10,000 business model as a content creator is memberships for recurring revenue, direct sales, and then having your community support you directly through fan funding, and then also affiliate and brand deals. If you do that, and you can be reasonably successful at that on a long enough timeline, you could scale those individually to where you can make $10,000 a month. In an ideal world, every one of your revenue streams can make $10,000 a month in an ideal world, or at least $5,000. But if beyond that, it's not unreasonable to get 4 or 5 revenue streams to being like $2,000 to $3,000 a month. And then with there, you will do very well and you'll be financially sustainable, because then the disruption to your revenue streams becomes inconvenient. If one revenue stream gets hit, it's inconvenient. Now, if you have 3 or less revenue streams and one gets hit, it becomes closer to being game over if you don't restore it very quickly. So that's kind of the offset. You need to hedge your bets and you need to have as many income sources as possible. So we have revenue streams, which are the categories, and then we have income sources, which is the individual payouts. Jay Wellness Studio says, appreciate you, bro. Been a fan for a while. All educational channel here. I see what kind of content gets all the views, but staying true to your core is so much more rewarding. It can be. It can be, as long as you're not suffering too much for it. We got Anwar. Thank you for the $1.99 super sticker. Appreciate you. The lady writes, says, if I wanted to create packages for authors and we start with book trailers, how could that be packaged? I was thinking to include an editorial book review, but not sure what else. You'd have to think a lot about what else. It's something I'd have to talk to you, because I don't know what your skill sets are. Because I don't know what your skill sets specifically are. I'm an author myself, so I could think of things I need, that could be in somebody's package if someone wanted to work with me per se, right? On the UGC side. But I don't know what your skill sets are. I don't know if you have graphic design skills. I don't know if you have marketing skills. I don't know if you have access to interviews or email list or anything of that nature. So it's hard to say what you could package without knowing what your skills are. And knowing and breaking down your skill sets and coming up with a business plan with you might be well outside the scope of just like chilling on a live stream. So yeah. The real JC says, can you do a more detailed video on copyright issues, please? Maybe we'll do a workshop Wednesday on copyright. Maybe I'll bring in an entertainment lawyer for help with that on a Wednesday sometime that can cover copyright, because then if I bring in a lawyer, you can trust the information. Living on a Dime to Grow Rich says, have mercy. If you can't handle Roberto, you can't handle being a YouTuber. Hey, you said it. You saw it is rough in these YouTube streets. It's very rough in these YouTube streets. I'll agree with that. Marilyn Monroe's $10 super chat. Thank you very much. Hey, Roberto, I've been following you for a while since your Periscope days. Oh, yeah, you're an OG. I love the digital sharecroppers term. Do you like Kick? I haven't been using Kick long enough to know how I feel about it yet, and I need to check my analytics and see how that's doing as a concept. All right, I have a Star Wars reference. I like the idea of it. So we'll see how it turns out. We'll see how Kick turns out, because I do like the idea of it. But we'll see. Gifty Sene says, can you consult independent filmmakers on how to monetize on platforms other than direct sales? Actually, be very close to what the author Brandon Sanderson did if you were actually trying to do it. If you were a filmmaker, the thing is today, if you were an independent filmmaker, I believe in building a personal brand. I believe more than direct sales that it's building a personal brand, because you know what happened, and one of the things that people don't understand about the writer's strike is or rather the actors strike, not the actors strike, the actors strike with SAG and the actors strike. A lot of it could have been avoided if a lot of talent knew how to properly monetize their attention. You had people who were on some of the biggest shows and streaming platforms of all time. Millions upon millions of people have seen them, know their face, even know them as an actor and not just their character, and have smaller social media presences and followings than me, are not monetizing, not making even the kind of money I'm making. They shouldn't be struggling. You shouldn't be able to have mainstream attention, be on television, have your name in lights and billboards, and struggling compared to me as a mid-tier content creator. That should not be possible. And the reason it happens is because they're not monetizing their attention properly. They're not creating and diversifying multiple income streams, and they refused and thought they were beyond building a personal brand, or they unfortunately trusted their talent agency and management to inform them properly and take advantage of all that. And the thing is, a lot of their talent agencies were taking 20% of the income they did make and not advising and consulting them in a way that I would have done on a much cheaper call than that in building their personal brand, or even in a way that my free content would have informed them to build their personal brand and monetize that attention as an actor and actress. There's no reason that those people in SAG that and I'm talking about people who were coming out and complaining and saying, yeah, I'm this thing, I'm one of your favorites, I do this, and I'm not making good money, and I'm struggling, and Like, no, that should have never been the case. They should have been educated. It's a tragedy and a travesty that their talent managers were taking 20% of their income and never put them through anything that showed them and taught them building a personal brand, monetizing on their platforms, even if they were going to take a percentage of the platform monetization from them, which I think still sucks. At least if they had helped them not only grow their platforms and build their audiences. Why were some of these people having less than 30,000 followers on Instagram? Why were some of them less than 20,000 or 10,000 and they're famous? They're legit famous. Why do they have less than 10,000 followers on X.com, formerly Twitter? Why? It makes no sense. They didn't have a scaled personal brand. They didn't have personal buy-in and loyalty from the fans. What the hell, man? That's ridiculous. And they started, believe me, during and after the strikes, they did realize, oh, we need to change this. We need to work on it. But they're rookies now. They're rookies at what content creators have been good at for a long time. Owning your own brand equity is important. So for an independent filmmaker, I believe much the same thing. I believe that independent filmmaker needs a personal brand and needs to have a direct relationship with the audience and viewers and things and people who can support them and other people who love just the arts in general. And I think that that has to be crafted. And I think that it's important. And I think that there are ways to further monetize that across multiple platforms. But I also believe there's product to be built outside of just the films that you make, that there's kind of a way to productize yourself, let's say. There are experiences and ways you can productize yourself outside the films you make. And not all of that is teaching filmmaking or workshops, even though that could be a component of it. But even as someone who just creates and crafts art and someone who just talks to their audience and fans, there is an equity and there's a value exchange there, and there are ways that that can also be monetized. I know that personally because in a different way, if you look to the author, one of my favorite authors, at least one of the ones who's still alive, my favorite authors have a bad habit of dying, Brandon Sanderson. Okay, he took over for Robert Jordan. He also wrote the Mistborn series. He writes the Cosmere series. He's very talented. So Brandon Sanderson is one of my favorite authors. If you look at what he's done for himself on social media and YouTube, and how he also is able to have one of the most record-breaking Kickstarters of all time. In fact, my client A Drive, who we have a podcast coming out hopefully this week, my client A Drive, who the guy who sent me his gold play button, Pokemon YouTuber, the creator of Illustrials, the card game. We studied for his Kickstarter for Illustrials and broke down every single detail of Brandon Sanderson's Kickstarter. That was a record-breaking book Kickstarter, one of the most record-breaking Kickstarters of all time. And we studied that, and then we applied those lessons to what he did when he launched Illustrials, which also was a record-breaking Kickstarter. So we studied a record-breaking Kickstarter to create a record-breaking Kickstarter, right? I believe there are opportunities very similar to this around building a personal brand and audience buy-in for indie filmmakers. I also believe that this is true for voice acting talent, and I believe this is true for actors as well. With screenwriters, it's a little harder, but I could work it out. We could figure it out. So it's things like that. The main thing is audience loyalty. Owning the relationship with the audience is everything. And the problem is all the middlemen in between. Let's see. Chase Yokoyama. Chase Yokoyama. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Says, question, Roberto, how do you organize and keep track of your brand deal, contracts, and exclusivities? Fantastic question. One thing, you can do what I did, hire a personal assistant. That's Ariana. So I hired my sister's personal assistant. That helps tremendously. Helps me with my deadlines too. Helps me with my commitments. The other thing is we're working on adding this to the brand deal starter kit, but to make it a template so that you don't have mine exactly. But in my case, I worked out a spreadsheet format. I have a spreadsheet format that you can use in Google Sheets or Excels, and we're adding it to the brand deal starter kit soon because everyone gets the updates. If they bought it, they get all the updates for a lifetime. So we're adding value to that. So we have a spreadsheet template, and my spreadsheet works in a very specific way. My spreadsheet has a master list of all of my active brand deals at the time, and then it has individual sheets that list the deliverables just for that brand. So one, I have a comparison. And the reason I have a comparison is I can see how much work I'm doing for how much money across all of my brands in their own columns. And so I could just see them all at a glance. And I can also see how much money I'm getting and everything like that, which helps me feel good. And then I have the individual ones in their own sheet in the same doc and in the Google Sheets spreadsheet. And then I have a Google Drive that has all of the PDFs of the signed contracts and their terms. Okay. And a document based on a prompt I wrote that dissects the terms of the contract. In the paid version of ChatGPT, when I upload it, it dissects the terms of the content and makes it digestible for me. And so then there's a reference doc there. And so the spreadsheet links to my contracts in one of the rows. I can click on and see my terms of my contract, but each column has just all of my deliverables for the brands, and any dates and deadlines and everything like that are in there. And so I know what all my deliverables are for each individual brand. I know what the payment schedule is, and I know what the amount they what they're supposed to pay me for the whole enchilada for the year is. So I have all of that, and it's in a spreadsheet document, and I'm able to reference it at any time. And then with me, what I try to do sometimes is I'll try to blitz a contract. And what I mean by blitz a contract, I mean I'll try and make as many of the deliverables in advance as I can and fulfill the contract, or be on deck to fulfill the contract sooner rather than later, and put myself in a position for the contract to renew. And then I can negotiate the renewal of contracts. So boom, there you go. That's how I get. Now, by the way, someone could do this in Notion. Maybe in the future, we'll set up a Notion version of this, but right now I'm just using a spreadsheet version. But at some point, we can make an automation or a Notion thing. And if we do, what we'll do is if we make a Notion thing, we'll probably include it in the brand deal starter kit. And then we'll also sell a cheaper version of it as a standalone product. So that's probably how we'll end up doing it in the end. Phil Akinwall, I think that's pronounced right. I think Phil Akinwell or Akinwale. Thank you for the $10 super sticker. Appreciate you. So Juan Camilo says, hey, Roberto, if you have a really unique idea, what would your procedure be to avoid having the idea stolen from someone who is already popular? Well, for one thing, I'd probably keep it under wraps, not really talk to anybody about it too much. So that'd be one thing. Another thing is I would put a twist on the idea that makes it so hard that there's easier things for a popular person to do than attempt to do this, because I just make a built-in risk of failure that a popular person won't want to do because they won't want to take a public L. Full of Grace and Truth says, hey, Roberto, purchased and read your book. Great stuff. Bestseller, and I get to keep going back to it. My Creator Bible. Appreciate you, man. Oh, sorry. Appreciate you, lady. Sorry, didn't look at the profile pic there. Affiliate marketing, do you have to pay to get in? No, with affiliate marketing, the best example of it is the Amazon Influencer Program. Amazon Influencer Program, $0 cost to get in. It's Amazon.com, so you know it's legitimate. So does your audience. So that's the best place to start. If you're new to affiliate marketing, the best place to get your feet wet and to get started is with the Amazon Influencer Program. And just doing that will teach you the ins and outs of affiliate marketing. And it'll be one that you and your audience can trust. And so that has the best place basically for you to start with affiliate marketing at $0 coming in. So that's what I would do. Skystep Drones. If you say you have to get your watch hours up, watch my 4,000 hours tutorial. I have a video on how to get your first 4,000 hours on YouTube. It's still relevant to this day because it's a mathematical formula I came up with that makes it easier to do. So you'll want to watch that video. It is on my channel. If you go to my YouTube homepage, you can absolutely find it. It tells you exactly step-by-step how to get 4,000 watch hours. You should absolutely watch it. Mugnify Reacts says, just reporting, Blake Senpai, have a good stream. Appreciate you, man. Mugnify is a member of the Awesome Creator Academy Pro Group. He's at over 80,000 subscribers now. I remember when he came to us with less than 10,000, just had the goal of getting to 20,000. He's on his way to a silver play button now. Appreciate you, man. Hope all is going well. I see you keeping up with your daily uploads on reactions. So good on you, man. Appreciate you. My real name is made up, says, I'm probably going to join the pro group when my account gets fixed. Do founders get a discount at all, or is that window passed? If you want to email me about that, let me know. And the thing is, there is some potential there in terms of pricing. So email me, hit me up, and let's figure it out. WG Mojo says, do people sometimes join your pro group for a single month just to get access to the digital products? Possibly, but that doesn't usually work out because there's too much stuff to like really get through or download there. And if some people's intent is that, a lot of times they don't, because the real value is the access to the 2 office hours every week. The office hours every week is really what I think is the strongest value, plus the 100 hours of training. So the thing is, if they're just trying to get quick early access to the digital downloads, it doesn't usually typically work out for them. And that wouldn't be like a good practical way to approach it. Also, from a pricing standpoint, if they wanted the digital products, they're better off just buying them, especially whenever there's a coupon. They're better off just buying them with a coupon than doing that, because at least if they bought them, they'd always be able to keep them. Because the thing is, we actually do update the products. That's the thing. We update the products. So the thing is, since we update the products, there is a way for people to continue to get value long term. Doing it short term, you'd lose the resources at some point. So it's not really practical for people to try that. We also have a less than 1% lifetime refund rate. So I think we're doing pretty well. And I think that most people act in good faith. I don't think most people are just trying to get over. So, I could be wrong. Adventure Explore Discover says, I'm a content creator with 10K subs and I never had an offer from a sponsor. What's the solution? Reason? Also based in Georgia. Can we do a collab? Not really focused on collabs right now, as you can tell. But what I will say is this: do not wait for brands to reach out to you. Put together your media kit. One of the reasons I built the YouTube starter kit was I know that a lot of you are bad at, because I'll tell you guys right now. And I'm gonna link to this so that you guys can check it out and you can buy it. Don't feel pressured, but it's only if you want to, and it's only if you think it'll help you. I know the majority of you are bad at pitching, packaging, and pricing brand deals. That's why I built the YouTube starter kit. And that's why I built the brand deal starter kit. The brand deal starter kit specifically is for those of you who are bad at pitching, pricing, and packaging. And so I'm linking it in the chat here. You can check it out. You can decide if this is for you. But the thing is, I built a $99 product. It's not a course. I built a $99 product. What did we put in the $99 product? We put a master list of 100 brands that sponsor content creators. So guess what that means? Oh, who sponsors creators? Who sponsors creators in my niche? Oh, I don't know who to even find. Okay, you have that. We gave you a method for also reaching out to sponsors. And then I don't know how to reach out to sponsors. We wrote the emails for you. We wrote 12 email swipe file templates for you. We gave you 3 customizable media kits to help you sell yourself and pitch. We gave you some general pricing guidelines, even though the reality is you need to stop trying to use formulas and you need to be able to be confident to ask for what you're worth, negotiate, or at a bare minimum, ask the brand, how much budget do you have? And I will tell you what I can deliver for that. We tell you how to do brand safety guidelines so that your content doesn't scare brands off and so that you don't fail to meet their green flags, because you can disqualify yourself from brand deals even when it would otherwise be a yes. You can red flag yourself. So we do that. All kinds of stuff. If you're looking for management, we give you some list of some of the best and we give you more. So that's what the brand deal starter kit is. We made customizable media kit templates that you can use yourself, email swipe files so that you're not starting from zero, and we tell you how to reach out to brands. A lot of you, your problem is you're waiting for a random email. You're waiting to get noticed. No, reach out, warm leads, pitch brands, do affiliate marketing and make money, join their affiliate program for the manufacturer, for the brand, whoever. Then when you pitch them, you're not just some random person off the street. You're someone who's made the money before. You're someone who's promoted the tweets before. You're somebody who's reshared the Instagram stories before. Interact with the brands and act like an ambassador before they're even paying you. If you're just waiting for people to show up and to offer you money, you're doing it wrong. Reach out and ask for the relationship. Reach out and ask for the relationship. You're sitting there waiting. You're going to be a spinster if you're waiting for sponsors. So no, it's a whole thing. Do I have a starter kit for streamers? We're actually working on a streamer starter kit, believe it or not. I am working on a streamer starter kit, Stock Magician. Tell you what, I hope you're on Twitter or something, but if you're not, just try to drop it in the chat and I'll look for it here. Tell me everything you would want in a streamer starter kit. I am happy. Actually, any of you can do that right now. If you want to tell me what you would want out of a live streamer starter kit, because we are working on one. Gifty Sensei says, Gifty Sene says, thank you for your perspective on indie filmmakers. Can I buy a 1 hour personal consultation? Actually, I don't do 1 hours. I do 90 minutes. I do 90-minute consults. And so I will get you a link for that if you're interested. And so that's at awesomecreatoracademy.com/coaching. And I'll just drop that link in the chat for you. So for anyone who does want to work with me on coaching, there's the information. So if you want to work with me one-on-one in terms of coaching, I actually just dropped the link in the chat. It's also in the description of the video. So go to awesomecreatoracademy.com. That's my website. That's where I have all of my products and services right now. So you can definitely check that out. Appreciate you. Architectural Sheet Metal 101 says, hey, Roberto, got to see you on lives. Just so you know, if you're listening to enough gurus online, you would know that Roberto gives it straight, no fluff. You'll come to appreciate it. I try to teach in the way that would benefit me if I were still a beginner. And I try to give it in the tonality that I know would cut through my own nonsense and wake me up and shake me up, because you need that. So I try to remember how my sensei Brown dealt with me when I was younger, how my track coach Mike Lawrence dealt with me when I was younger, how my other coach Marks dealt with me, how Coach Stoker dealt with me. Like I come from a long lineage of coaches that actually turned out to be quite literally drill instructors and Marines, and that's on top of my dad. So I try, but I also try to be a little bit more thoughtful with you guys, which I definitely got from my mom. So what I will say is I try to give it to you guys straight, but I also try to be thoughtful and considerate of where you might be or what you might be going through. But I will not coddle you. I will not do that. I will give it to you, and it will be what you need. It may not be how you like it. It may not be what you want, but it will be what you need. But I will try to be mindful and thoughtful, because I also know sometimes it's rough out there. Sometimes you just need a kind word, an encouraging word. My kind and encouraging word would be that you're capable of doing more, though. You're probably capable of doing more than you are right now. You're certainly capable of more than you think or would imagine that you are. And I would also remind you from an encouragement standpoint that right now you have currently survived 100% of the worst days of your life. So this too shall pass. Marilyn Monroe says, hey, Roberto, I plan on purchasing. You give more than what is necessary while others charge double for more or nothing. I saw that, and I try and I work on it. And the thing is, the good news is with my products, lifetime updates, which means as we improve or we think of something new, we add it to the product. I want the best products possible. See, the thing is, here's the thing. If no one trusts my good intentions, trust my ego. If you don't trust my good intentions, trust my ego. Trust my ego that I want to make better products at a price point that is better than any competitor at my price. That's what I want. And that you can see kind of the effort I put into that, because I go harder on the design. I go harder on the branding. I really care about that. The product photography, the mock-ups, the fonts, the color schemes. I go hard on such little granular details, and nothing will ever be perfect, but I'm always trying to make things better. And the thing is, even a year later, I come back to a product and I'll try and say, okay, it's time for a refresh, or it's time for an update, or what else can we add? What else can we do? I plan to add more media kit templates to the brand deal starter kit than we currently have. We're going to maintain the updates. We've been maintaining the updates on this for 2 or 3 years now. We're going to keep maintaining the updates. We've been updating the YouTube starter kit for 6 years. We've been updating and maintaining updates on the YouTube Starter Kit and supporting the YouTube Starter Kit for people who already purchased for 6 years. That's why 1,600 creators have bought it. Like we so we just keep going. We just keep going. And I think that that's also a commitment that you make as a creator. I didn't get comfortable when I was like, good enough. I kept doing everything I could to improve the live streams, improve the videos, and you keep going. You try to make things the best you can with what you have at the time. But then once you can do better, you do better. And you keep doing better, and you keep striving to be someone who is capable of more. So I would always encourage all of you to, yes, do the best you can with what you have where you are. Acknowledge the success in small victories. Acknowledge your own effort as well and say, hey, I'm trying and at least I'm showing up. That's important. That's extremely important. But I would also encourage you to set things for yourself and say, I can do more and I want to do more and I want to be capable of more, and I'm going to keep working at that. And I'm going to keep going, and I'm not going to settle. And so that's what I would say as far as like encouraging words, but they're not fluff. It's not fluff, and it's not just a motivational speech. It's rooted in the importance of work ethic. And it's something that I don't think is being instilled right now, is a sense of work ethic, a sense of valuing your craft enough and being a professional. I think that there's an overindulgence in feelings and emotion and not enough in discipline, craftspersonship, salespersonship, knowing your value, raising your value, understanding that not everyone values the same thing, being honest and real with yourself, willing to give yourself grace, but also willing to hold yourself to a discipline and accountability and to show up your best that you can and not do things halfway. I think all of it is something that matters. And I think that's greatly overlooked today in the culture. I think that's something that I have noticed and that I've observed. So I do think about these things. Cata Ribeiro says, at this moment, I just got my first subscriber on my ConvertKit database from a free downloadable product to build my leads at 803 subscribers. Thank you, Roberto, for all the monetization free advice. Appreciate you. That's good, man. Like, building your email list is something more of you should be focused on. We'll do a workshop somewhere in the near future here on specifically building and growing your email list. That can be really important. Full of Grace and Truth says, I think your ChatGPT prompts are a game changer. I've seen growth with it. Yeah, absolutely. The creator prompts product is something I'm really proud of. I think we really over deliver with that one. And it's literally a $9 product. So if you guys want to check that out, creator prompts, check out creator prompts. If you want to see like, hey, I want a low risk product experience. I want to support Roberto. I want to support the team. I want to support what he's doing, but I also don't want to spend a lot of money. Info products have sucked for me in the past. At least check out our creator prompts product. It's a $9 thing that you can get and gives you 200 ChatGPT prompts that we've made. And yeah, I'm still adding prompts to that one, and it's $9. So it's a easy way to say, let me try something out small. Let me see if I get any value whatsoever. I mean, that's besides the free videos, the free email course, the free creator playbook. We've got a lot of free things for you to try out with value. But if you want to try something out small and see what a paid experience can be like, that's why we made the $9 products in Awesome Creator Academy. We made the creator prompts. We made the creator. We made a small creator starter pack. We made that. We made the creator blueprints product. We gave you guys a way to sample and taste some of what it can be like at $9 so that you know that you can trust us to deliver on $9 products and update them. If you can trust that, then you can trust us at higher levels with $99 products. So it's just that sort of thing. By the way, that's advice for the rest of you. If you haven't figured it out, that's the example. The example is more of you should create low ticket offers so that people who've come to like you and trust you have a path to a transaction with you that doesn't risk a lot for them. It's a low risk transaction that gets them in the door and says, okay, I wasn't burned on spending money with you and I'm happy about that. And then that person is more likely to become a repeat customer. With us, it's one $9 product begets another $9 product, and then you've spent, instead of one digit with us, you spent 2 digits. We talked about this in the digital sales workshop that we did before. We did a digital sales workshop on Wednesday. We talked about pricing ladders, and one of the things we said was you should offer something that is very reasonable and is underpriced and over delivers for your audience so they can feel safe with you if you're going to sell digital products. And then they should have the option to buy multiple low-level products with you and feel like they've supported you, but they got a lot of value in return. And that means that the minute that you have something more expensive and the minute they can see a coupon for it that hits their budget, they're going to buy, and they're going to keep buying as much as they can, and they're going to be a repeat customer. They're also going to tell other people about you. That's word of mouth. And this used to be common sense. This was old school sales and marketing. This used to be common sense for people. But in the creator world, I understand that creator world is not necessarily business and entrepreneurship world. And so it's a little tricky for people to start to get their feet wet and to wrap their head around it. But you have to figure out how to start small. By the way, this works with brand deals too. You can, instead of getting lowballed on a brand deal, consider how you can offer a very low commitment offer that still has upside for the brand, but requires less work from you. That's part of why sometimes the answer is to ask them for their budget. And if it's less than what you would like, then deliver something and say, here's what I'm willing to do for that. Or you can ask, hey, what do you need from me to get the price that I quoted you? What would I have to do? What's the deliverables you need, or what numbers do I need to hit? A lot of you could just learn from that. That's one of the reasons why in one-on-one, one of the things that people come to me the most for in one-on-one calls is help with the brand deals and the negotiation side and packaging, pricing. We've even sat there on a 90-minute call and worked through helping design and build out the packaging, pricing, and the media kit and all those things and what to include, and developed unique packages that went to the creator's unique skills. Some of you all have more to offer and you're not thinking about it. Sponsorship stuff, email list, huge one. A lot of people do not realize the email list is a huge selling point for brand deals. No idea. You can get sponsorship just on your brand deals alone. I'm not going to name names, but I have friends and homies that have 30, 50,000, 60,000 email list and they get $5,000, $10,000 a month on sponsorships because of their email list. They could make 6 figures without their YouTube channel just on their email list now. Purely email sponsorship. $5,000, $10,000 a month. 30, 50,000 subscriber list. Yeah, and they can make 6 figures a year off of that. That's another key component of diversifying your revenue streams, diversifying your opportunities for revenue streams, diversifying your independent off-platform revenue streams. This is the stuff that people do not think about. This is the stuff that people do not talk about. This is stuff that people do not teach. So ultimately, that does become the thing that you have to do. And the thing is, a lot of you do not realize that YouTube pays 1 penny per view if you're lucky enough to have a $10 CPM. If you had a $1 CPM, it's 1/10 of a penny per view. Views are important, don't get me wrong, but not as important as you think they are when you break down the cost or price per view. Then you break down the hourly rate that you are accumulating when you edit your videos. Some of you, you're spending 5-10 hours editing a video. So the thing is, if we gave you an industry standard rate, not a minimum wage rate, the minimum wage rate would be ridiculous. We started to give you the beginnings of an industry standard rate, then every video needs to make $250 to $500 for you to start to break even on a video. Okay? Think about that. If you're spending 5 to 10 hours on videos, your videos have to make $250 to $500 for you to be at break-even capacity on your videos if we're using standard industry rates for you as an editor. This is not counting the time you took as a producer, the time you took as a graphic designer, the time that you took as a script writer, the time you took as a researcher. It's not even counting that yet. So that means that all of you are working a lot of times on content below market rate. because you don't know how to monetize it properly, and you're relying completely on the YouTube ad revenue system when it comes to monetization, and you're worried much more about views. But if you move from a views model to a transactions model and use it as a marketing funnel for transactions or memberships, or as leverage in your portfolio for client work through UGC deals or freelance editing work, then it becomes much more practical and sustainable and doesn't become a sunk cost to be working below market rate at a sunk cost with no guaranteed income from it. Do you see what I'm getting at? So that becomes an issue. That becomes an issue. I'm working out a chart. I have a chart based on the hours, practical hours of productive work for video editing, by the way. And I'm working on a video about how much to charge as a video editor. And I actually did get confirmation on what Hollywood industry rates are. Independent rates as a contractor, not working for Hollywood clients, but working for YouTubers or commercial clients. I'm going to be honest with you. It's going to be about half the rate that you would get if you worked for Hollywood, but it has to be. But the work can be more consistent, so that balances out. Higher rate, less consistency. Lower rate, more consistency. It balances out. So the thing is, you have to be smart about this. Same thing happens with your brand deals, by the way. So again, it's the long term, okay, smaller money, but longer term, more stability. So it's choosing stability versus big payday, live off of it for a while without working, so that's your trade-offs. That's your trade-offs. But the point is, I'm working out some of these pricing guides on the video editing side. That's easier to price for than brand deals. Brand deals, there's not standard rates. The reason there's not standard rates, too multivariable, too many different relationships with brands, too many creators with different things that they offer, too many variables in the audience, geography, demographics, psychographics. There's so much there. You cannot make a fixed calculator for brand deals accurately. The creator will almost always underprice if they try that. If the creator tries to just use data and stats-based things to calculate the value of their brand deals, there's too many intangibles that they're not considering and terms in the contract that they're not considering in terms of a commitment to make that formulaic. So it's better to come up with your own packages and to price based on that than to try to create a calculator or use a calculator to determine a rate, or to use what your competitors are charging as a rate because the commitment might still be different. Long form and shorts are not comparable. So the comeback dude says, the problem is I get views for like 5 shorts, then my channel starts, then I upload long form, then it stimulates, then I get more shorts. Why is that? The reality is that long form audiences, short form audiences, and live stream audiences are actually all different audiences, right? They're actually all different audiences because there's a different psychology to the mood that you're in when you watch different types of content. In fact, YouTube will recommend different types of content to you, and it knows when you're on your phone versus when you're on your TV. It knows what you watch in the morning versus what you watch at night. It knows when you are sleeping. It knows when you're awake. It knows if you've been bad or good. So be good for algorithm's sake. Yeah. So like literally, you better watch out. You better not pout because YouTube is watching. So anyway, algorithm is watching you. I'm watching you. So yeah, real talk. But the thing that I will say about it is don't get yourself in your feelings or depressed when shorts do one way, videos do one way, and live streams do another way. If you consider them as unique individual audiences that have a preference for format, content style, and device preference, it all makes a lot more sense. It all makes a lot more sense. And more live viewers are becoming television viewers, by the way. So that's like a whole new phenomenon that we're seeing exiting the pandemic. And so I would pay attention to that. It's also why a lot more people are shooting in 4K and doing other things, and why YouTube is starting to look more like television, because more people are watching on connected TVs than ever. However, that has created an opportunity when it comes to vertical video content, both in terms of shorts and vertical live streams. And that's being underestimated. And so there are people who are, and it's not going to be the shorts feed anymore. It's just basically going to be the vertical feed at this point. It's the vertical feed because there's the optimizing for all devices, which I talked about on our Friday FAQ Friday last week. There's optimizing for all devices, and then there's optimizing for mobile first, if not mobile only viewers. And the thing is, a lot of Gen Z lives mobile first, mobile only, but millennials and Gen X are any device, anywhere, anytime. So to a degree, can depend on your audience, but it also can depend on your content. If you're doing spectacle storytelling content like Mr. Beast, you are not optimizing for the phone, even if majority of the audience is on the phone. You are replacing television. You are making a television show. Same thing for the new quiet. Sorry about that, y'all. She gets excitable. What'd I tell you? Anyway, like I was saying, if you are making IRL content or you're making storytelling content, probably best to optimize in a way, longevity wise, for a TV style audience, because you're replacing TV even when they are watching it on their phone. You'd be surprised how many people are also simulcasting and beaming things from their phone to their television to watch. You'd be shocked at that. So just something to think about. Let's Play Master says, would you also suggest having an email list for gaming channels? For gaming channels, I would say have a newsletter community, but for gaming channels, I think it's important to have a Discord server. I think you should have the emails and have a newsletter. But you should basically almost make it a love letter to your community every week, and also a roundup of the things they might have missed out on. So that's the approach to a newsletter for a gaming channel. But the big thing for a gaming channel to have a relationship and direct access to their audience is a Discord server. The problem is Discord can still cut you off just like a social network. That's what I don't like. The email list is at least 10,000 ride or die true super fans. You want 1,000 to 10,000 ride or die true super fans, so that you have to start over somewhere. You're not starting from nothing. And that's why you want like a 10,000 email list of diehard people that want to be with you all the time. So 1,000 to 10,000 is your goal. And you want those people with you because God forbid anything happens, you can always start over with these people. The problem with Discord is, oh man, is it hard to take those relationships with you. Same thing with the other social media platforms. That's what I don't like. That's what's scary to me. So the thing is, this is why you want to be in a position to be as decentralized as possible and to own the access to the relationship instead of the algorithm, determining your relationship with the audience. So Coastal Diva says, hey, Roberto, I uploaded my video without checking the box to alert subscribers. The views took less time to kick up. I'd do it again. I felt it got dispersed faster to more people. I'm going to keep trying to experiment. Okay, that's cool. Sometimes that's the case. I do think that actually can be a thing, especially with shorts, by the way. Luis says, Roberto, tips to reach your first 1,000 subscribers and then your first 10K. Best advice. Love your content. Luis, I actually did a video series on this. I did a video series, and you can watch it on the channel, on how to get your first 10,000. And I did another video on how to get your first 10,000 subscribers. I also did a recent video on a strategy if you're starting, and it's geared more toward anyone that's under 20,000 subscribers. You can watch it on the channel right now, and it breaks down what I think is my best advice for that. We'll also cover some more of that for people in one of the upcoming FAQ Fridays. We'll try to work it into the topic. Malevolent Elephant, since you're doing an entertainment channel, here's one of my pieces of advice for you. Try to get your stuff monetized in Facebook, but also go ahead and buy the blue check mark and monetize in x.com, formerly Twitter. Your content would go viral in Twitter, and Twitter is paying people. So just go ahead and monetize in Twitter. And then also your stuff could be repurposed to TikTok. So then you wouldn't be living completely on AdSense revenue. I know TikTok has its issues. I'm not TikTok's biggest fan or advocate here, but what I would tell you, Malevolent Elephant, Instagram, Facebook, x.com, formerly Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, 5 other platforms you can be monetized in with the entertainment content you do. Just repurpose your existing inventory of videos, and you've got a crap ton of videos, and just upload that to all these other platforms, get monetized in all these other platforms, and receive your payout. Also, start uploading, in your case, start uploading your stuff to Rumble too. Just clone everything, upload everything on your channel to Rumble, upload everything slowly and trickle it over to Facebook, Instagram, reformat it for TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, and start monetizing all those platforms. In your case, if you're an entertainment channel, your content can be syndicated and monetized. That's another path for you. Another thing that a lot of you are not looking at is, hey, if you want to hit $10,000, could it be easier if you are on 3 platforms that pay you besides YouTube? Think about it. If you can get 3 platforms to pay you $1,500 besides YouTube, that's $4,500 you were sleeping on. That's real money. That's about roughly getting up there. That's like $55,000 a year extra or something. It's about $50,000. Yeah, it's like $50,000 a year extra if you do like $4,500 a month, 12 months. That's at least $55,000, $60,000 a year extra. If you get 3 other platforms to make $1,500 on, absolutely. Siobhan H says, Roberto, when it comes to getting more financial revenue streams, is it better to focus on entertainment or gaming as a channel? The problem with gaming or using anyone else's intellectual property in general, the problem with that is the copyright issues. The copyright issues do make you much, much more vulnerable. So I'd be careful with that. It's my biggest concern if you're going that route. So definitely a good question, but that's something I would consider. Guys, give me one quick second. We'll be right back. In the meantime, what I'm going to do is, while we're waiting for me to get right back, while we wait for me to get right back, I'm actually just going to play a music video from my faceless YouTube channel. And so that's going to be kind of your commercial break here. I will be right back as I go to the little Roberto's room. And we're back. Hope you guys can hear me loud and clear. So thanks for letting me have a little intermission there. We got more water. So that means I can last here for at least another half hour with you, and then we'll close up shop, get you guys home for dinner. With a gaming channel, one of the rough spots, like I said, it'll be the copyright is the rough spots. But I think if you go into esports and streaming, that's where if you go to esports and streaming, the opportunity lies when it comes to a gaming channel. So I would say that that is kind of the difference. And that's probably what I would try to do and that's what a lot of my clients that do stuff in the Supercell ecosystem do. What a lot of the Supercell creators do is they get themselves into gaming or esports orgs to make extra money. In their case, they use their creator codes, their in-game creator codes. So they take advantage of that. And then what else? I mean, so there is that aspect. And then I'm trying to remember what other options were available. It's that, the affiliate marketing, the merchandise, in-game creator codes. I had like a list of all the revenue streams for gamers. Obviously, things like Twitch and YouTube memberships, donation through fan funding, the ad revenue. Something underestimated is the replay value of streaming with the YouTube revenue. The real big kicker right now is the vertical live streaming. The vertical live streaming on YouTube is actually really good if you care about views. The ad revenue is also decent. It's not like shorts, even though it's in the vertical feed. Even though it's in the vertical feed, it's not like shorts. And that's what people need to understand. Vertical streaming is a big new opportunity on YouTube. The thing is, it doesn't currently fit my format. It doesn't fit my format. But the thing is, I might do vertical live streaming while I'm in Vegas is the thing. While I'm in Vegas, there will be an opportunity to do vertical live streaming in a way that actually makes sense. So the thing is, I would take advantage of that. And it's the thing that for me probably would make the most sense when it comes to that. But like I said, for gaming is more of a streaming play, and I would multi-stream to YouTube, Kick, and Twitch. I would multi-stream the gaming to YouTube, Kick, and Twitch. I'd then use AI to repurpose, and you could use different things. You could use OpusClip. I use Streamyard. I use Streamyard and OpusClip. You could do that. You could repurpose the VODs, take that, make ad revenue from YouTube. You could also promote your in-game creator code, make money with that, promote it in the YouTube community tab, make money with that. So there's a lot of opportunities with that. And then obviously if you're getting paid through an esports org, then the opportunity exists to make money there. So that's some of my thought when it comes to gaming. Jace McKinney says, any advice for people with a kids animated channel? I have 3K subs, but it seems hard to scale and break even with what I'm investing in my videos. Short form content is your friend. YouTube Shorts is your friend. YouTube Shorts will break you out and scale, get you opportunity, get you more subscribers, get you potential sponsorships. Luis, your question is, Roberto, is it better to sell consultations or sell a course to people on YouTube? How do you know when it's right time to sell? How many subs? What do you measure, etc.? I actually did talk about this in the workshop for memberships and the website for the workshop we did on digital products. So you definitely want to watch the replay from workshop Wednesdays, from our previous workshop Wednesdays. You'll also want to watch my video on the $5,000 a month membership blueprint that I did. I did a video on the $5,000 a month membership blueprint. It's about a 20-minute video sponsored by Kajabi. You'll absolutely want to watch it if this is something you're interested in, Luis. So what I would say, Luis, is when do you know you're ready to sell is you should have some real world accomplishment that justifies it. That's not your YouTube subscribers. That's not followers on TikTok. That's not your clout in X.com, formerly Twitter. It's none of those things. Okay. When it comes to selling consultations or courses, the thing that validates you is your real world accomplishments in the area of subject matter expertise and domain expertise that you have. So is there a real world credential that backs you up? Is there 5 to 10 years experience that backs you up? Are there sales figures that back you up? Are there client testimonials that back you up? Is there an accreditation of some kind that backs you up? Is there an industry accolade or award that backs you up? Is there a certification that backs you up? What real world credentials back you up? I'll give you a primary example. I was actually certified by YouTube themselves. I held 3 different YouTube certifications. And then industry wise, before that, before I did any of that, I held a Google ad certification for Google Ads for managing large Google Ads accounts. Okay, so Google AdWords, not AdSense, AdWords, the product that if you're an advertiser, you buy the ads on YouTube that pay creators. Like, so I was in charge of ads when I worked in corporate America. So I had industry certifications that would actually matter from YouTube and Google as authorities. That's a primary example. I had a HubSpot certification. That's an example, right? In the early days. I also had tremendous experience. I had proven the things that I'd done, and I had achieved the things that I was helping my clients achieve previously. And then I had credentials in the form of my hard skills in terms of technical software and capabilities in that software. And at one point, and it's a long time ago back, they don't even offer this, I don't think, anymore. I used to have Adobe ACE certifications. I don't think they offer Adobe ACE certifications. I don't think anyone cares about Adobe ACE certifications anymore, but I at least had them. You can get certifications through CompTIA. Okay, so you can get certifications through CompTIA. I don't even know the email for my CompTIA account anymore because I think it was my corporate account. I don't think I ever transferred it to my personal account. So it was when I worked in corporate. So it's things like that. If you can get real world certifications in things that involve hard skills, technical skills, software, things like that, industry accreditations and certifications from recognized authorities, then those things all go toward the credibility to sell anything when it comes to a course or consultation, because there's a legitimacy, authority, and proof of skill behind it that's hard to come by. So there's that aspect of it. Now, the other thing is you have to sell something beyond information, in my opinion, which means how are you providing a solution? If it's a one-on-one call and consultation, you have to set expectations. Your expertise does matter, but also what your scope, narrowing the scope of what you cover and what your desired outcome of your customer is to qualify your customer in terms of what they want to be able to accomplish. And one of the things I always do, by the way, at the end of my calls is I ask people, what is the most actionable piece of advice you think I gave you today? I always ask that at the end of my calls because I don't want the call to end without them being able to know for sure that they got an actionable piece of valuable advice that day. So they have to be able to communicate that to me before I'm willing to like close out the call. And that's something that I think is important, is you should be able to know that you're giving people actionable advice. So in terms of positioning it, I think from a practicality standpoint, selling calls is what I believe in first, because the calls and the results from people who are on calls with you and that work with you give you, and then vetting them and having questions that you know and collecting a database of that then tells you what you can replicate and duplicate that actually makes a course worthwhile. Even with me, I'm building courses now because having done literally hundreds of consultation calls, having worked with over 500 creators, having seen thousands of analytics dashboards at this point, having done thousands of channel reviews here live already in the past, I'm like, yeah, I can consolidate this into an above average course that's probably better than a lot of the ones that exist already and are wildly outdated now. So now it's my time. After, doing this for well over a decade, I'm like, okay, now I can sell a course, right? I'm not saying you have to wait 10 years like I did to sell a course. I'm just making a point that I do believe that working one-on-one with people makes the capacity to be a course provider better. But I also think cash flow wise, the smart thing is courses are a passive income product and that scales, and that's great. But the thing is, great courses, I think, come from great one-on-one coaching. If you do enough one-on-one coaching, you will learn enough from your clients and working with solving their problems to know what the recurring themes of people are to justify making a course that solves a problem for most people through methods that have been proven results. And it'll be the easiest source of testimonials for a course long term, because if you have worked with one-on-one clients, you have people who can beta test and help you develop a course and give you feedback and be the initial testimonials for it. So if that was your goal, was eventually to be a course seller, I would start with selling consultation calls. It cash flows immediately. It's easier to prove. It's easier to deliver on. It's in and out. And then you get to build the testimonials and credibility that justify course sales. Boom. Coffee Grind Gossip with Crystal, $5 super chat. Appreciate you. Hi, Roberto. I have a small channel, but I'm taking my time to grow it organically. What's the best editing software you recommend? On a budget, best editing software on a budget that I would recommend is either going to be, it's probably going to be CapCut, but I think that Adobe Rush is better in some ways, but CapCut has more upfront features and it does probably work for the TikTok aesthetic if that's something you like. So it's between CapCut and Adobe Rush at the entry level. At the mid-tier level, gonna go with, that's a tricky one. At a mid-tier level, if you're on mobile devices, if you're on a mobile device like an iPad, LumaFusion. If you're on a desktop, I'm going to go with Camtasia because they also have the best screen recorder in the entire industry, and the tools are simple to use. For Pro tier, your three options, of course, are Final Cut, Adobe Premiere, DaVinci Resolve. DaVinci Resolve has a free component that's as good as most paid things, and there are a lot of plugins you can get for it. So that's probably realistically for most people the sweet spot of what they'll like. However, I do believe that Adobe, with all of this new tools, AI features, and the Creative Cloud suite, is the superior best editing option for YouTubers, and MrBeast uses it for a reason. So I give it to Adobe, and I've been using Adobe for over 20 years, so I have some bias, but it's not a bias because they've been a sponsor and a homie in the past and have given me cool stuff in the past. Like they gave me a really cool art book, and I've been a speaker at Adobe Max before. Nah, it's because I stuck with it for 20 years for a reason, because I also was a Final Cut guy for a good minute when I worked in the ad agency world, and I became Apple obsessed when I was doing that. Final Cut Pro is good, but Adobe keeps up with the times and it's better. Final Cut has been wildly outdated. Every long-suffering Final Cut user knows it. DaVinci is great because of the free and the buy once, own it forever component. So being anti-Adobe is if there was no such thing as a subscription model, or you had unlimited money, or good money, or 10K a month, no one would ever complain about Adobe's subscription model. So it's like, it's only a complaint when people, like, by the way, those of us who do have money who are content creators, if you ever hear those of us who are content creators complaining about Adobe's subscription model, it's just to sound relatable. It's just to sound relatable because we can afford it and it can be subsidized through our clients and we'll never see the bill. So like, there's no point for a successful full-time content creator to ever gripe about paying Adobe's subscription model. So just is what it is. It's a stupid complaint for people with money. If you don't have money, it's a valid complaint. If you do have money, it's not, because you start to realize, well, if I had unlimited money, what would I spend money on? When you get to that conversation, you goes, oh yeah. And that tells you what the best tool is. The best tool, you know what the best tool is when money is no object, because now the only thing that you care about is frustration, accuracy, and options. When you stop worrying about how much does something cost, now you worry about how frustrating is this thing to use? How reliable is it? How fast is it? What options do I don't have? And then when you get to that conversation, the winner is Adobe. The winner is Adobe. Now, when you do care about budget, the winner is DaVinci Resolve. The winner is DaVinci Resolve. So that's, That's the consideration, because the trade-off will be time and frustration versus cost and expense. I think DaVinci Resolve is great, but I also think the learning curve on it, very hard to come by. The community is smaller, but it does a good job on updates. It has a great feature set, great plugins, great tools are developed for it. I just think that Adobe is the most powerful overall option. I think that once you are having it with good hardware, phenomenal. Just, again, I keep paying for it for a reason. Let's see. Chase Yokoyama says, question, Roberto, what are your thoughts on posting YouTube shorts that don't 100% match long form content? My channel's primary credit cards. My Instagram is general finance. Should I post those on shorts? I'm good with it, man. To be honest, there's more than enough overlap on your style of content. Absolutely. I would absolutely be posting that, especially if it's proven to perform on Instagram. The general finance stuff in shorts. And the thing is, it's an audience you're invisible to right now. I think that it would match up fine. I think that the scope of that audience avatar is very much the same. I think the audience avatar is the same. So as long as the audience avatar is the same or very, very close to like 80% the same, I'm good with it, man. I'm good. I really like that question. That's a good one. Thank you for that. Yeah, Lois uses DaVinci Resolve and CapCut, and yeah, no, this matches. I agree. Cadu Ribeiro says Adobe now pays for itself. Adobe Express Premium stock options and AI generated fill is coming to mobile as well. I'm in the beta program, and it's there. Not even mentioning Premiere Pro and Photoshop. Yeah, that's actually really cool. Michael Billups says, I don't make 10K a month or anything close to it, but I do love the Adobe subscription model because it's so complete and updates automatically. Maybe they should pay me. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, and Adobe Express is also browser, and it can edit and export Photoshop. So huge win there. Yeah, absolutely. Editing templates. Look, I tested my templates. My templates that I sell will open in Adobe Express when it tries to open Photoshop files. So like that's a whole thing. Really dope. Thank you, by the way. We have 146 of you right now on YouTube, and we have 1,020 of you across all platforms. I think a lot of you are probably watching on x.com, which is really dope. Appreciate all of you. And we're right now on multiple platforms thanks to our sponsors. We are on multiple platforms because we are via Streamyard on Facebook Live, Instagram Live, YouTube Live, Twitch.com, X.com, formerly Twitter, and Kick.com. I have no idea where everybody is watching from, but I just want you to know you are greatly appreciated, and we love having 1,000 of you on stream. That is pretty dope. Pretty dope. Appreciate y'all. Looks like we have a lot of viewers over on x.com. It looks like over on x.com, we have about 800 of you. So, wow. X.com giving us tons of reach over here. YouTube, step up. Give us some more reach. Appreciate you. So again, thanks you to our sponsors, Streamyard, for letting us multi-stream across all of our monetized platforms, OpusClip for us being able to repurpose these later, and Kajabi so we don't have to be digital sharecroppers forever and we can build our own website, build our own online business. So appreciate our wonderful sponsors keeping the lights on over here. Because, man, YouTube's being stingy with these live stream views right now. Jeez, man. But it is also the week. I usually would normally stream on the weekend, so we'll just get people used to me streaming. And also, I'm pretty sure that there's entertainment channels streaming right now, pulling in tens of thousands of people, with just like, for lack of a better term, low value, like not improving your life in any way, but it's fine. No hate, no shade. Sometimes people need to blow off steam after work. Not everyone's out here to monetize on a Monday, right? So let's go. Ellie says, yes, I'm a graphic designer. I use Adobe every day. It's the industry standard. Absolutely. Sorry, Roberto. Is it the total view count on X? It's very misleading from them. Had to say it to them myself, though. Well, whatever that number is or however they're calculating it, I'm just happy that we have people who bothered to watch us on x.com anyway. So it is what it is. But I do know that we also have people watching on LinkedIn right now. I see that. And we do have people watching on Facebook. So happy to have you in the stream. D Blaze says, hey, Roberto, what is the best text to image AI generator? Depends on how you define best. But overall, probably Mid-Journey from everything that I've seen. But you'd have to ask a true AI expert who's seen it all, done it all. And that'd probably be Matt Wolf. Matt Wolf is the smartest man in AI when it comes to the creator economy. So I would defer to whatever his answer would be. Luis says, thank you for the previous well thought out answer. $1.99 super chat. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Michael Billups, $10 super chat says, like my grandfather used to say all the time, don't spend it all in one place. Appreciate you, man. Honestly, probably take it and get Chipotle. Probably take it, and on a lazy day when I don't want to cook, probably just take it, get Chipotle. So, yep. Let's see. Let's round out a little bit. The Creative Income Life says, from X says, everyone should be doing Amazon influencer shoppable videos if they really want to make money. I couldn't agree more. I think that the Amazon influencer program is dramatically underestimated at some point. At some point, I do want to do a breakdown and a video about the Amazon influencer program. There's more I plan to use for it myself. In fact, I need to cover all of my Sony camera lenses. Like behind me, I have a whole wall of Sony camera lenses that I could be covering on the Amazon influencer program. I've been thinking about that. I've also been thinking about there's a lot of hobby spare channel stuff I want to do, but I can't do any of it until my brother is editing main channel videos and we get the main channel popping again. Once we get the main channel popping again and we get a bunch of consistent videos, I can look at my hobby channels. But it's like, I really want to make a booktube channel, to be honest with you. There is a part of me that desperately wants to make a book review channel and do a booktube channel and do a tour of the library that I'm building and tours of the bookcase downstairs with the library. Like, I really want to do like a booktube channel, but I ain't got all the time in the world. I can't be messing around. I've got a business to run. I've got creators to help, but like, I really kind of want to do a booktube channel because I love reading. I'm a book guy. I mean, that's why I'm building a whole library downstairs. So like, really kind of want to do a booktube channel. But at the same time, huge movie buff. So part of me like is looking at a reaction channel where I can also just react to movie trailers. But again, it's like, I just can't sit there and just make all the random videos and channels that I want to make all the time. It wouldn't make any sense. Like, you know, I'd have to like get a lot closer to like financial freedom goals to be able to mess around like that and feel confident in the fact that I'm doing, because it's like, I'm not going to make any money doing it. It'd just be fun. It would just be really fun. So that's the only reason I'd want to do it. But yeah, I mean, because it'd make no money, mind you. So it's like, you know, so I'd have to get this channel more healthy in a place where I want it to be, and make sure that everything is trucking along with the business, and that my brother is helping with the editing, and that, you know, making sure he's getting paid, take care of. I'd have to do a lot more things to get to a place to where I will take a channel like my booktube channel seriously or something. So Any tips on making money on YouTube with under 1K subscribers? Amazon influencer program. Amazon influencer program, even under 1K subscribers, would still be good for you. The other thing that you could look at doing at 1K subscribers that could make money would probably, in my opinion, be if you did merch that was not about your channel and not about you, but you did merch based on memes. If you did merch based on memes, you could make some money. It wouldn't be a lot, but it'd be better than nothing. It'd be better than AdSense. Better than AdSense. Let's Play Master says, what would you say to the stats for a live stream? 500 total views, but only having 3 to 4 concurrent views on average in total. It's for a mobile aspect ratio live. So you mean vertical live stream? That seems off to me. If that's a vertical live stream, it should be much more, I would think, at least currently. But it also could be the time of day that you're streaming. Time of day matters for streaming more than people would imagine. Yeah, I could probably. Lois Lorena says, Roberto, maybe once in a while on a podcast, ask guests about their favorite books and films, as well as their thoughts on books adapted to films, vice versa. You know, if another YouTuber was to co-host some kind of like film review or book review podcast with me, I could see myself doing it, or at least guest starring. About that wallet, says, Roberto, do you have a canned pitch to reach out to brands you want to work with for the future? No, I customize my outreach. I don't sit there and use canned pickup lines for building brand relationships. I tailor every single pitch to exactly the person that I'm talking to. And usually I try to develop and set up, like, for one thing, my goal is to get them on a call, to get them on a video call. And so, yeah, I make everything customized for that. I'm like very particular about it. I think that Snapchat is making a comeback. I think that Snapchat will actually surpass TikTok in relevancy. I actually believe that Snapchat will ultimately be bigger than TikTok. I think millennials are going to make Snapchat great again. That's right. You heard it. I stand by it. I'm standing on business. Snapchat over TikTok. I'm standing on business. It's happening. It's going down. It's going to take 2 or 3 years, but it'll happen. It'll take 2 or 3 years. Snapchat will become more relevant than TikTok. Not playing with y'all. I genuinely believe that. Let's see. Just double checking to make sure I didn't miss any super chats. And I think I got most of the questions as well. Someone wants me to do a video about copyright. Yeah, definitely can do an information video about copyright. Even if it's not a live stream, we might do a live stream workshop with a lawyer about copyright, but we definitely will at least do a basic video covering it for people at some point. Yeah, this one is Monday. So it's Monday. So this is Monetization Monday. The Photoshop thumbnail stream is definitely going to be a workshop Wednesday stream. We have the streams scheduled in advance pretty much for the month right now. So that's the current plan. Oh, wow. We have a massive success story from Zane Shaw here. Says, Roberto, I started YouTube after watching your channel. I built courses, affiliates, and sponsorships. Okay, great. 3 revenue streams. Last year, I did 330K a year, and I only have 40,000 subs. So massive thank you. I can't say it enough. Great job, Zane. Really appreciate that. And you got that from just watching the channel. That's not even working with me. So imagine if we actually talked one-on-one. So great job, Zane. Really respect that. Great hustle. Appreciate you. Congratulations on your massive success. That's tremendous. That definitely reserves a round of applause there. So let's get it. Let's go. So yeah. Z-World says, I have teenagers and they don't even use their cell phone numbers to call. They communicate only through Snapchat. Sheesh. Yeah. I mean, that's a trend, right? So I do see that. I do think that because it also serves as their messaging platform of choice and they're going to be anti-Facebook, I think that even with teenagers that they're going into Snapchat. I think it's going to be a cultural thing. Genuinely believe that. I think that Snapchat will win long-term over TikTok. And I just think it's part of culture. Yeah, Brandon, eventually we'll do a video that covers how to use the YouTube starter kit. There's some updates to it from when we made it. Maybe it'll be an unlisted video on the channel and we'll direct people there as like a tutorial thing or how to use, or maybe we'll use it. Maybe we'll make that tutorial video for the Awesome Creator Academy channel on how to use. So like maybe we'll do that. So that's a possibility. Roberto, are there any video platforms that you see that are capable of competing with YouTube in the future? No, not unless Amazon were to figure out creators, which I don't think they will. And I don't think even working with Mr. Beast that they'll figure it out. So I don't think that. Spotify is the only thing that I can see putting a dent in the market. There'll just be another option. X.com will just be another option. It'll be a syndication option. It's not going to be a head-to-head YouTube competitor. There's no direct way to compete with YouTube now. The bridge is already burnt. The ship has already sailed. There was a window of opportunity, but now it's too far gone, and the patents and copyrights are too far gone. The AI technology with the dubbing, all these things, it's too far gone. I don't think that a company can risk losing money long enough. A company cannot risk losing money long enough in this economy, and with shareholder activism, it's not viable because there would be a way to compete with YouTube, but a company wouldn't risk it because they couldn't survive it. They wouldn't survive it. There'd be too many opportunities over the number of years you have to stick to your guns. The way you'd have to stick to your guns to really have a fighting chance of beating YouTube, no company's shareholders will co-sign it, and you'll have activist shareholders stage a coup and force a rebellion, so it won't work. Noctellin's Campfire, and you might be the last question before we start to wrap up here. Noctellin's Campfire says, question, could having a horror-themed animal nature education channel be good for me, since my mom said that I'm very good with animals? I'm interested in horror, following the Ikigai graph. Honestly, here's what I would do with you. I would either do survival creepypasta type things, or I would do a channel maybe about cryptids like the Loch Ness Monster and things like that. I would maybe consider something like that, to be honest. And I would have like maybe even horror themed stories around cryptids, and I would do like a horror themed story time channel. So kind of a creepypasta channel, basically. I'd do a creepypasta channel that focuses on cryptids. Maybe it'd even be, that's the theme, or what it's, or the series is called that. So we have another success story here. So Metrics Mule says, I only have 18K subscribers. I purchased your brand deal starter kit, started landing brand deals, took your advice on owning my traffic, and now I'm making $60,000 a year cohesively with all of your recommendations. I love these success stories. Congratulations again. Yeah, Zane says, honestly, just by watching your free videos, my main takeaway has been never rely on AdSense, and that it's grain in the sand. Yep, can be. About that wall, it says, Roberto, what conferences do you recommend to go to for podcasters to up their game? Podcast Movement, Podfest for sure, Podcast Movement, potentially NAB show, NAB, possibly NAB. I'll be there in Vegas, and Vid Summit. I would say if you do those, you're probably going to be all right. Noctalon's Campfire says, but the thing is, I want to discuss about real animals, plants, but in the horror format. Try it, see what works. Maybe you make 100 videos there, your passion, get it out of your system. And then if it doesn't manifest the results you want, you'll at least have done it, fulfilled your passion, and then you can move on and do something that works. So I would try it. Or maybe you try it and it works out. So the thing is, guys, I'm going to give you guys the last piece of advice for the evening. So last piece of advice for the evening is this. A lot of you are looking for permission to do the thing that you're passionate about and just do the thing you really want to do because you want to see it exist. The biggest problem is a lot of you are looking for permission about it. And you're also looking for a cheerleader and someone to tell you, oh, it's going to take off. Just be yourself. I'm not going to tell you that because I'm not going to lie to you. What I'm going to tell you is the truth. I think that for a lot of you, that you should make 100 videos and not care about your subscribers, your views, or making money, and that you should make 100 of the videos that you want to make, your first 100 crappy videos, as I like to say. I think you should make your first 100 crappy videos. They are your experiments. They are your tuition. You make 100 videos in a year or 2-year period, and you don't worry about whether they make money. You don't worry about whether you're wasting your time because it's a fun hobby and you're passionate about it. You make 100 crappy videos. You commit to getting them out, and then regardless of what happens, hell or high water, you did exactly what you wanted to do, and you didn't let other people influence you or tell you anything, and you made what you wanted to make, and it exists, and it's done. And if no one gave a crap, and if no one watched it, then you know where you stand. You know where you stand, and you know, okay, so if I cared about money or attention, this was an objectively bad idea. But if I cared about expressing myself, at least I got to do it. No harm, no foul. I got it out there, because only then, when you get through doing the thing you want to do, can most of you, you cannot seem to move on, and you cannot focus on doing what will work until you've done what you wanted to and feel satisfied. The problem is you have to accept the fact that if you commit to doing this, that what I'm telling you is I'm not promising you or telling you that you will grow or get any audience doing the thing you're passionate about. But I think a lot of you just need to get it out of your system, because it will be impossible for you to focus and move on until you do. Because some of you just have it in you, and until you scratch that itch, until you get it out of your system, you will not be able to move on. So some of you need to commit to just doing the thing you want to do and saying screw it, and then doing it and seeing that it didn't grow you an audience or didn't make you money, or that it did in the best case scenario. And then you'll be able to move on and say, okay, I tried it my way. I did what I wanted. Now I'm ready to focus. Now I'm ready to niche down. Now I'm ready to do something practical. But some of you just got to get it out of your system. Some of you just got to be able to put yourself out there, see what happens. And the good news is you'll realize that's not so bad sometimes when things don't work out. And that's like, okay, I've experienced that. So now I can do the thing. My first businesses when I was in my 20s didn't work out, but I'm glad I did it. Even though it failed, I'm glad that my first failures in business happened. I learned from them. I also answered that question. There's not a question mark. There's not a what if. I know what was going to happen now. I don't have a what if. The biggest things you'll ever regret sometimes is asking yourself, what if I did? What if? You can what if yourself to death, and it can be paralyzing. Some of you just need to go for it and do something and get it over with and get it out of your system, so that you won't have the unanswered question anymore and you won't have regrets. It's that simple for a lot of you. But realistically, going all in your passion rarely works out, because in the Ikigai model, what we would normally do is we try to figure out, like, what do other people want? Because if we're asking for attention, we do have to take other people into consideration. But a lot of people, it's very hard for them. And, you can't do it, because for some of you, realistically, you've just never gotten to try what you wanted. You've always had to please other people. So the thing is, if you've always had to please other people and you finally just want to do something for yourself, then do it. Make 100 videos. They don't have to even be on YouTube. You can make the 100 videos. And if you're like, oh, I don't want to risk YouTube, post them to x.com, post them to Instagram, post them to TikTok, do 100 videos, get out of your system, put yourself out there, see if there was any response. And if there wasn't enough of a response to satisfy your ego, then you know where you stand. If it wasn't enough of a response to make money, you know where you stand now. It's not a question mark anymore. So sometimes you just got to do the damn thing. It's that simple. And then you know where you stand. And once you've answered that question for yourself, then it becomes easier to say, okay, now I'm ready to do what works because I satisfied me. I did it. I had it. I put it out there. So, you know, sometimes that's just what you have to do. It is what it is. I went through it. Thanks, Lewis. Appreciate you. Thanks so much, you guys. Appreciate all the kind words. Definitely. Yeah, World According to Briggs says his success story. This is a great one. So World According to Briggs, who had the pleasure of seeing in person before. My success story has been watching Roberto, Daryl, and Tim Schmoyer for years. I knew zero about YouTube. I now have over 1 million subscribers, haven't had a normal job in 6 years, and I have 7 employees. Again, congratulations. That is a tremendous success story to kind of close this out on. And these things do happen. You know, these things do happen. And you have to, sometimes you have to grind for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years to see anything. That's how it is. The average YouTube success story, the average creator success story is not an overnight success. It's not a 1 year success. It's not blowing up. Most people struggle for 5, 6, 7 years, and only then do they get the opportunity to shine. That's the more common outcome. And sometimes perfection is paralyzing. Absolutely. Don't get hung up on perfection. Get it done. Done is always better than perfect. I don't care what anyone says about quality content. Done is better than perfect. It really is. Yep, absolutely. And so I think that that is a good place to end on. Thanks everybody who tuned in. This was another Monetization Monday, and I think it was a rousing success. I really do. Stay tuned for Wednesday. We have a workshop Wednesday. I believe it's the thumbnails one. So we have a workshop Wednesday coming up. Is it on thumbnails? Looks like it. So April 3rd, workshop Wednesday, free thumbnail workshop. We're going to try recreating some of the biggest YouTubers' thumbnails. We're going to give that a shot. We'll see how it comes out. So we're going to do that here live on the channel, 6:30 on Wednesday for workshop Wednesday. So make sure you're staying tuned for that. And then we will do on the 5th, we will be doing another FAQ Friday for you, covering YouTube analytics and answering your questions about the YouTube algorithm. So stay tuned. Thank you to all of our wonderful supporters, super chatters. Thank you to the Awesome Creator Academy Pro Group members who showed up. Really appreciate all of you and just anybody who was here on the stream. So looks like that's it here. Wrapping up. We're going to end the stream with excuse me, losing my voice now. Oh, also thank you to our sponsors, Streamyard, OpusClip, and Kajabi. They are linked in the description below, along with all of our resources. And of course, you can sign up for any of our wonderful affordable products. Check out the AI creator prompts for ChatGPT. Linked in the chat now. It's a $9 product, 200 prompts for you. Make sure you're checking it out. Also linked in the description. Like I said, also all of our sponsors are linked in the description. So shout out to our sponsors. Thank you to everybody who came through the stream. It was wonderful having you. We will see you again for another Monetization Monday on Monday, Workshop Wednesday on Wednesdays, and FAQ Fridays on Fridays. We're going to close out the stream with my book trailer. If you haven't picked it up, make sure you're checking it out. Create something awesome. If you have picked it up, make sure you're leaving it a review on Amazon and Goodreads. Stay awesome. I'll catch you next time. I finally did it. I finished my book, Create Something Awesome, How Content Creators Are Profiting from Their Passion in the Creator Economy. The book is available now in paperback and in Kindle, where you can read it on any e-reader or device. And I'm really excited about this. The audiobook is coming soon, probably October 2022. Oh my God, it's so great to be able to have this book done, put it up on the bookshelf, and to know that all of you who appreciate it, you want to hear what I have to say about the creator economy, becoming a full-time content creator, and what the experience and lifestyle of being a content creator actually is like. This is the book. I put 20 chapters in here of the most important things I think that content creators could be focusing on today. I talk about the mental health aspect of being a content creator, getting discouraged, imposter syndrome, not charging what you're worth, and mostly actionable advice around monetizing your content properly, but also how to build an audience on your authenticity and what it's really like to start from zero, even today. So if you're interested, make sure you're checking out the book. You can order it on Amazon. You also probably order it in a lot of other places like Barnes & Noble, and it will be coming to other bookstores soon. Really excited about it. Thank you for all the support and love around the book and the positive reviews. Now go ahead and pick it up and make sure you go out there and create something awesome today. Take care.